indeed what we've all been waiting for. Best of 5. And who knew it? Who would predict it? Whatever versus, I've got to say it, Dave and the dog.
We've rebanded them. Sorry, guys.
We have, haven't we? We've got to, though, right? It fits them so much better than the what's on the screen. But look, let's get rolling. What we've got this one, obviously, grand final, best of 5. We've got to make it massive. So we've got a Civ Draft. Is that right, Silas? This is what this is all about?
Yeah, so this is the first instance of it in the tournament, and obviously the only instance of it being the grand final. But just to quickly explain how it works, guys, so there's not going to be any bans. There's usually bans in these sort of Civ drafts, but both teams get 12 picks. Now, you can't pick the same Civ twice. So let's say K1's team picks Mongols, then Alpha's team isn't going to be able to pick Mongols. So we're not going to see any Civ mirrors, which I think is a really good thing for the tournament because... it just makes games a bit more interesting, doesn't it, Stuart?
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Definitely couldn't agree more. So I think we're just waiting for these guys to start now. Then, do we know what the maps are, Zilla?
So we do
Do
have some maps.
we normally pair them up? Do we pair up the maps with the civs? Is that how it works? Shall we?
Yeah, I'm going to quickly go through the maps, guys, because obviously it's going to affect some of the civs that they choose. Obviously, some civs being specifically strong on certain maps. So. Whatever have picked Mangrove Jungle. If you don't know what that is, it's basically somewhere where you can fight with ships and land units all in the same area. And you also have gold dotted all over the map. And they've also gone for Arena. We've seen quite a bit of success with whatever on Arena. The famous Goth and Mongol combo. We saw some pretty lovely plays with them. Dave and the dog have gone for Runestone. So Runestones essentially being Old Arabia, bit easier to wall up, bit easier to get your buildings out. It's a really nice map for some fast gameplay. And then we've got Crater Lake as well. It's been played a few times on this tournament. To quickly explain what that is, big lake in the middle, lots of gold, lots of stone in the middle. And then sort of narrow pathways connecting all of the map. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens. I think the Civ drafts are going to be a bit more interesting now that they know the maps that they're playing. So let's see how it goes, Mr. Stewart.
Let's see what goes on then. That's right. So we know that Mangrove is the first. Is that the first one? Is it? Who's picking first out of these two teams? Then it's the lower relos. It's always been, right. Which I believe to be Dave and the dog. Picking first. Is that right? So if we can get confirmation on that. I think it's Runestone which will be the first map. I think.
Well, Stuart, they can actually pick whatever map they want to go first.
Do you know what? I'm just getting something in my ear now, Sir. Just getting something in my ear from the team behind the scenes. I think they're doing a coin flip. Look at that. Okay, cool. All right, let's get the coin flip done. I think they're going to do the coin flip now. So we'll see what happens with regards to that, and then I think they're going to get cracking with picking the maps. Whichever who picks first, and then of course move on to picking civs.
I'm just thinking about the tactics for each team going into this Civ draft. Obviously, there's Civ favourites for both team. I think whatever have had a lot of success. Excuse me, a lot of sex.
I thought you were on a stag weekend. I thought you had a stag weekend. Let's go.
Right, Eamesy has had a lot of success with going camel civs, so I wouldn't be surprised if Alpha try and pick up those kind of famous camel civs. I'm talking Hindustanis, I'm talking Gujaras and Berbers and Byzantines. Maybe they're going to try and pick them up to make sure K1's team can't take them. And obviously, we know that K1 loves playing those Mongols, especially on Arena. Wouldn't be surprised if Alpha and Dave try and pick them up as well. However, I've got to say, Dave and Alpha have played such a variety of civs over the entire tournament that I think perhaps Eamesy and K1 are a bit more vulnerable for their favourite civs being taken by the other team. Yeah. What do you think about that, Stuart?
No, I couldn't agree more, mate. We know the fight for Mongols is strong, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's got to be. It got to be, especially like you say with Arena being a map choice. Arena and Mongols, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It happens every time we see whatever play. I think it could be called. So let's see how this coin flip's getting on. Let's see if we know who's going first with it. Let's see.
Show all this technology, Stuart, and we're going to flip a coin.
Well, I think it's the oldest way of doing it, isn't it?
It's the proper way.
It's the
It's
proper
only
way. I'm a big bully. I'm a big fan of a 50-50, me. So I don't mind a coin flip at all. What's funny is just trying to keep everybody engaged and whilst it's going on. So let's have a little look. What's going on here? So it looks like they've got a coin flip generator that's been done. So let's see. Let's see what goes on. Well, we hope everybody's had a lovely weekend in the chat. Hope everyone's been getting up to much. Obviously, still the start of the new year. Can't believe the time flies though, Sulla. Right, we're already at the start of February. It's absolutely insane. Not sure.
I mean,
where...
we started this tournament in December, didn't we?
We did. That was
Seems
right.
like
I think it wanted to get done as early January as possible. But look, we are a clan of international players, right? So trying to make it work for everybody, you've got to be diplomatic, shall we say, right?
Yeah, and I think you got to give credit to everyone for making all these games happen. I mean, I know a few people getting up at stupid times in the night, stupid times in the morning to make sure these games happen. And it's just been really nice to see that there's been so few. I don't think there's been any games missed actually, which is great. And we've been really lucky as viewers to see some really, really nice games, but also like games you wouldn't see if you were watching the high level players play, right? Obviously, they're very entertaining, they're very fun to watch, but sometimes it's nice to watch something a bit close to home, should we say?
That's right. Okay, can we do a vote poll, Gripper? How are we, Gripper? Are you well, buddy? Yeah, I think we can set that up, can't we? We can get a little poll going on, get a prediction in there. Who do we think's gonna win it? Well, whilst we're waiting, shall we say, do you know what I want to look at, Sulla? I don't know if you can see my screen here. But this is the bracket. Here we are. This is where we got to. So, I mean, I love looking at this, right? So where are we now? So we've got. This is the funny thing. Look at game 5. So we've got Whatever versus 2Boys1Cup. So these guys met each other in this bracket, round 1. Whatever giving them a 2-1, having a 2-1 victory. But I mean, 2Boys1Cup. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but they give them a good run for their money, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't
definitely
an easy game for Whatever, and obviously Whatever's gone on and won all of their games with a bit of strength there, a few 2-0s. But this is what fascinates me. Look at 2Boys1Cup. So out of the first round for the winners bracket, win the losers round 1 and round 2 and round 3, and quarters and semis and finals to come back. I think Team Whatever are going to find it hard.
Yeah, and I mean, it was really interesting because when we watched that first game, we were both saying it's 2 super strong teams. And it felt weird that Dave and the Dog were going into the losers bracket because we could see straight away that they were one of the strongest teams, and they proved it right in the losers bracket. They won every single game, and actually they got experience playing against a similar sort of team when they played Loki's team. Loki and K1 being similar level players with like a lower elo player with them, and they managed to win that 2-0, I believe. So both teams are brilliant. Both teams have improved. But I think this time might be a little bit closer. I'm not sure what you think, Mr. Stewart.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, like you say, they've played together a hell of a lot more. I mean, have they played more games? I suppose they technically have, haven't they?
Technically, they've played a game more.
They've played one game more. Yeah, that's right. So we'll see. We will see. Right, polls up, everybody. Get your votes in. Want to see that full maxed out? I'm even gonna vote as well. I'm going to put a little vote in. I've done my vote. I won't tell you who I voted for. Let's see what happens. Right, we are live then on the Civ Draft. Let's see what happens, shall we? Let's give this a screen so you can all see. Here we go. So, host captain K1 with the guest captain as Alpha. So explain to me, Sheila. They pick them. They pick the civs that they want, correct? And if they pick the civ that they want, the other team can't pick that same civ.
That's exactly it.
Here we go then. So it looks like Alpha's going first, Zilla. Oh, this is exciting.
So just to explain, guys, Alpha's going to pick 1, and then K1's going to pick 2, and then Alpha's going to pick 2. Just for clarity.
Here we go. 10 seconds to go, Alpha. Let's go. So I'd be terrible at this, Sulla. I could get a kid in the sweet shop. Too many to pick from. Can I pick Hindustanis multiple times? Here we go. Lithuanians first for Alpha then. Come on, Sulla. I'll let you talk about this. You know these civs very well.
I mean, Lithuanians is a great civ. It's also a civ that works on water maps as well. The extra food gives you a huge advantage on those kind of maps, even though you would think the wood would be more helpful. But actually, no, the food is also really good. It means that you can send an extra vil to wood. And Lithuanians are still a decent arena civ as well, if they can get those relics in. So yeah, a great civ for kind of hybrid maps for sure.
Oh, Ethiopians and then Hindustanis.
Yeah, I'm surprised that both teams wouldn't just pick Hindustanis first. But yeah, I mean, you just can't argue with either of those choices. Ethiopians being especially good as like a 2v2 civ. However, I would have maybe have liked to seen Britons because I think they do a little bit better on hybrid maps.
Yeah. Okay.
One thing is also interesting for K1 picking Hindustanis is I know it's one of Dave's favourite civs, if not his favourite civ. So that's taken that away from him.
Okay.
Seems to, I don't know if you've noticed, the clock seems to have
frozen. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit in my ear. I was just about to giggle with it actually. It's never a dull moment on the Hermetica Clan Twitch channel, right? With things going on. You remember the last stream, Silla, where my GPU gave up and the monitors went black, and I was in the middle of explaining what happened, which was quite a sad time. But no, just got it in my ear. I think something's gone wrong the guys' end, so they're just quickly redoing this Civ Draft.
Stuart, this is what happens when you don't pay your casters, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my paycheck, right?
Yeah. We're paid handsomely in voice channel time.
Of course.
That's it. Right, let's see what's going on then. See if we get a new link. Right, we've got a new link come through. Let's get this up for everybody straight away. So that's there. There we go. We can all see that. Okay, so we're a spectator. Okay, lovely. Right, let's go. Here we go. So I assume it's Alpha first again then, because he picked first time. Is he going to go Lithuanians again? Although I think I heard in my ear that he said he wanted to pick Frank. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he wanted Franks. Is that a better one, Silla? Is that?
I am going to make the argument that it's not better. And wow, they've actually changed theirs and gone Gujaras and Hindustani, so they're just picking the OP Civ straight up.
Oh, naughty. Let's see how go on.
Another thing as well, K1 loves playing knights. He's not the biggest fan of playing camel civs, so picking the two best camel civs is basically the best thing that K1 could do for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they wanted to pick Lithuanians because it's just a really good hybrid civ.
So how does it work with regards to them seeing? So can Alpha see what K1's picking when they're picking it? Is that right?
Yeah, they do know. So right now, I'd be surprised if they would be picking loads of cab civs. And at the moment, they've just picked cab civs. So that's very interesting.
There we go.
You want to be picking civs that kind of do well against Hindustanis and Gujarats. Granted, there's not many of them, but there are some. K1 picking up Mongols, that's not a surprise at all. I wouldn't have been surprised if Alpha picked it before him, but no luck there. And humans, very interesting.
Very interesting
Just looking at the civs, the maps that they picked. I'm not sure if humans go particularly well.
Yeah. Just going back to the Twitch supporters there, Twitch poll. So we've got Team Whatever has got 67% in favour with Dave and the Dog, 33%. Get your votes in before that runs out. Come on, it's always good to see what everyone thinks. Get a true representation of it. How are we getting on with these civs, Silla?
So they've gone for the Goths, which, let's be honest, isn't a surprise. I can't imagine Eamsy not playing the Goths, in all honesty. However, very cleverly, Dave and the Dog have picked up Byzantines, who trade fantastically well with those very, very nice Byzantine cataphracts, absolutely decimate anything the Goths can do. So that will be a nice little counterplay if they know that Eamsy's going to be playing the Goths on Arena, most likely.
Okay, good stuff. And do they have to fill up all of these green boxes, Silla, or is it just the first 7 there?
No, I believe they are filling up all of them.
All of them, that's right, I suppose. Okay. Time's running out for Alpha to pick their 6th civ there. Persians, they've gone for, the war elephants, the elite war elephants. They're horrible, aren't they, when they get massed up?
Yeah, I mean, Stuart, don't get me wrong. I would love to say we would see war elephants, but I don't think we will. But Persians, really nice hybrid civ, getting that extra food and wood at the start. Also, remember their extra TC work rate, so producing villagers faster, also applies to the docks as well. So any kind of map you can take advantage of the fish, of which there is a few in the draft, Persians are going to be very good on.
Magyars then coming in for the 7th pick for K1, throwing it straight back to Alpha. It seems like Team Whatever have got the picks a lot quicker than Dave and the Dog.
It's So Portuguese is a smart pick, excuse me, because we know Eamsy and K1 like to do a bit of a boom on Arena. Portuguese organ gun castle drop is kind of the thing at the moment, isn't it, Stuart? So yeah, it seems like a sensible choice. And actually, Korean's a very similar strategy. Both those civs would be perfect on Arena. So I think that's 2 very good picks by Alpha. Fun fact as well, Alpha Dog's highest win rate is with Koreans. A little fun fact for you, Stuart.
Oh, fantastic. Are you surprised that they haven't picked that sooner then? Oh.
You know what? I'm not sure he even knows that. In fact, when we get to the post-game interview, I'll say to him, what do you think your best sim is? And he'll probably say something else.
I think you should. Right, the polls are in then for the channel for Twitch for who thinks who's going to win, or should we say who's supporting who. It's 50-50. 8 for whatever and 8 for 2Boys1Cup then. Agrippa using loads of channel points. Check you out, buddy. Be interested to know what team you was back in there to get their vote up. Okay, Dravidians and Italians then. Rev with the cheer, with the 4 bitties. Go on, the bitties. Right, let's see. Let's get back to the Civ Draft. We've already got another 2 to pick for Team Alpha now, right? Or just 1? Yeah, another 2. Here we go. Mayans with.
Just want to comment on whatever's Italians and Dravidians pick. The only criticism I had of their picks so far is that they didn't really have many good hybrid civs, but the Italians and Dravidians are both fantastic hybrid maps. So they've plugged that gap as such. Teutons, interesting. Stuart, who did you vote for in the poll? What's your internal bias?
I don't tell people my votes. Shall I? Typical. I'm a British citizen.
A gentleman never asks.
I do not discuss who I voted for. No, look, I've gone for the underdogs. As much as I love Aimsy and K1, I've gone for 2Boys1Cup. Out Dave and the Dog. I just think they've put such a bit of legwork in, mate. To get this far. Got knocked out in the first round, then won the whole of the losers bracket. It's in my eyes they're both teams are winners.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It's I mean, look, if Dave and Doug want to win it, they've got their work cut out, right? They've got to win two games, 2 sets. It's going to be tough. Definitely going to be tough. Definitely indeed. Right, Japanese then. Britons.
I think, yeah,
Strong civs, whatever, right? Strong
yeah,
civs.
super strong. I'm surprised Britain's got picked so late. Another fun fact is Britain's have the highest win rate of any Archer Civ in team games, so I'm surprised they're that low.
Wow, is that
I would have thought
for any team? Sorry, Sulla, or just
that's literally for everyone in the entire world, Mr. Stewart.
Wow. Britons have the highest win rate for archers. Wow, who would have thought it? Must be the longbowman, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, anyone who's tried to play against 60 longbowmen kind of knows how that feels, right? Yeah, I'm looking at. I mean, we know that whatever have had a really strong arena game so far through this tournament, but I'm looking at Dave and the Dogs picks for arena, and they've got some really, really strong civs. So they've done a good job of taking that advantage potentially away from them with civs like Portuguese, Turks, Koreans, something that can really mess up their game plan. So if we get to arena, I'm really looking. Well, we will get to arena. I'm really looking forward to that.
Huns in as well, then Sulla. Last pick.
Huns finish it off. Yeah, not so good for the hybrid maps. Will be really good for Runestones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looking at both drafts, who do you think you would prefer, Mr. Stewart?
Well, I'm behind the underdogs. All right. But looking at the Civ draft, we all know Mr. Stuart Cheadle loves the Hindustanis. You know, I think Dave and the Dog got their work cut out. I think they have. Festus, welcome in. Festus Clamrod. Love that. Welcome in. First time chat there. We do welcome you indeed. We hope you've hit that follow button. I think you did. I think it come through. Thank you ever so much for that. We will have loads more tournaments throughout the year. We will have loads of in-house matches casted. I'm pretty sure we've got some epic warlords or master lords. And when we say master lords, we mean people with elos higher, north of 1700, I think they are. So, doing some training sessions live on Twitch. Viewing replays of people's games and casting them out and helping people understand where they might have gone wrong and what they can do better. So yeah, definitely make sure you're following the Twitch. Feel free to jump in our Discord as well. I'm sure someone can get the link in the chat. Just quickly before we start, All Faith, the one and only legend, welcome in. Not going to miss you out, my friend. Right, okay. Well, I think that's it then. I think we're ready to go. Let's just quickly do a be right back. So go and have a quick loo break or flick the kettle on if you want. Just whilst we get CA capture age loaded up and the first game rolling. I think it's Mangrove is the first map, or Runestones. It's either Runestones or Mangrove. We're not going to say right now. We will find out. So we'll leave everyone on the suspense. Do it. A little bit like EastEnders, everyone can wait for the break. So, anything to add quickly?
Well, I think you need to explain to everyone what EastEnders is, but
yeah,
actually, maybe don't.
Google it. If you're not in the UK, Google it. Yeah, it's all good. Right, okay, let's go. We'll take a short break, everybody. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Sulla, my good buddy.
Hello, sir.
I think we're ready.
Let's do this.
And that's it. I think all the excitement, and we're here. We are here. We are ready to go. Let's do it. Let's start it, shall we? The grand final 2v2 Pangea Tourney, best of 5. Again, I've said it before. I'll say it every time I say it. Who would have thought it? They meet again. They met in the first round. They're meeting in the grand final. It's Team Whatever versus 2Boys1Cup, aka Dave and the dog. £200 prize pool. Just quickly explain that then. I think it's 150 to the winner, Sulla, and 50 to the runner-up. So all to play for. All to play for. Most definitely. Should we get it kicked off, shall we, Sulla? We can talk whilst we crack on.
We definitely can.
No, don't we? Right, let's do it. Go on.
Let's go. No, I just don't want you to crack on with me, Stuart. That's all.
Calm down. I can tell you had way too much fun on your stag do, Sulla. You brought it here. Leave that at home, please. Leave it at home. Well, look, I'll say it again. Here we go. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen. So, talk to me, Sulla. What have we got?
Well, Crater Lake. Now, if we have any avid viewers of our stream in here, Stuart, they will remember that Whatever lost on this map when they played Random Ketchup and Adu's team. It must have been about a month ago now. So it's actually a great pick by Alpha and Dave because they kind of know that potentially it could be a weakness for Whatever. But just looking at the civs very quickly, Alpha's gone for the Byzantines, is probably one of the best civs on this map. I mean, Byzantines are pretty much solid on every map, but if you add in those extra damage fire ships, you're looking at a very strong civ. Remember, water control on this map is absolutely essential because when gold runs out on the sides of the map, you need to go into the middle. And if you are getting a nice little fish boom as well, your economy is going to be looking a little bit better than your opponents. Dave's gone for the Lithuanians, which is sensible because they got the good cav. Obviously, Byzantines not getting the best cav in the world. And that extra food means that they are pretty good on hybrid maps because they can potentially put more villagers to wood. And then just looking at the other teams, K1's gone with the Italians, one of the best water civs there is, getting extra HP and slightly better fishing ships. And remember their late game with those Genoese crossbowmen and maybe some Hussar in front is pretty good. And Eamsey has gone for, I think that's the Japanese. Tell me if I'm wrong.
It is, yeah.
Japanese. Hey. So extra HP on their fishing ships. Sorry, the Italian ones work quicker. My apologies. And not sure the man-at-arms rush is gonna come into play on this map, but I guess it could be an option.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be cool. See what happens.
Good sportsmanship coming in from Alpha Dog then. Good luck, have fun. K1 saying no straight away. Nice bit of banter between the players. That's what we love to see, don't we? It's a testament to the Hermetica clan, right? You know, great bunch of people from all over the world, all playing a great game together and having a good laugh out of it as well, is what we like to see. So what do we make up of the matchups with regards to sides and sort of? Because this is, this always scares me in a team game. So we've got Amesy up against Alpha Dog essentially.
So I think the position of the crater in the middle is really important. Now, obviously, Eamsey not being strong as K1, he's going to be next to Alpha. Obviously, Alpha's going to have an advantage being the higher elo player. But remember, the control of that crater in the middle is so important for the late game. And arguably, you probably want your strongest player near to it. Now, K1's actually a fair distance from it with his base. So Eamsey's going to have to wall up this side and get some kind of control of that lake. Otherwise, that team is going to be in trouble. However, because of the distance from your teammate, there is a chance that K1 might be able to take out Dave quite quickly. But we'll have to see what tactics they go for. I'm seeing Eamsey's dock coming down now. Has K1 gone for a dock as well?
Yeah, K1's already got his dock out. We've got Dave's already got his dock out with 2 fishing ships out with that as well, which is pretty good going there from Dave. In comparison to the other guys, that's for sure. Fangita, welcome in, first time chat, love that. Italians are cheaper, Sulla, is what Fangita.
Italians are cheaper.
To bring
look at this noob streamer, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you for cleaning that up.
It's what everyone's here for, right? We all help each other. That's the main goal. Together we are epic, as the clan motto says. Good stuff. So standard starts then, Scylla, for Crater Lake.
Yeah, it looks pretty standard. I'm just looking at the fishing ships. Eamesy hasn't got any out yet, so it looks like everyone else is going to be a tiny bit ahead. Obviously, you need to do your start a little bit different when you do your fishing ships, which can kind of throw off some of the newer players. But yeah, I mean, it's looking, fairly equal right now.
Yeah, especially with regards to points. Obviously, it's so early on though. I mean, it definitely looks like Dave and the Dog are doing better on the fishing ship side of things. Look at that, Dave with his 4th fishing ship out now, 5th one on the way. Looks like he's going to probably be going up first, I should imagine.
Yeah, Lithuanians with the extra food means that they can usually go up before the extra civs, as you basically have a 3 villager discount as such. But the tactics in early feudal will determine the game, right? There is a chance that K1 might just think, well, Dave's not going to wall. Am I going to sneak some villagers? Actually, I can already see that Dave's wall. So just ignore everything I'm saying, guys.
Yes.
Has Dave finished his wall?
K1's, is Dave finished his wall, sorry? No, he's going to finish it. Yeah, he's going to finish it. All right, but look, we've got K1 the first to click up to feudal. Then Alpha Dog slightly behind, not too far behind at all. Waiting for Dave and Amesy to go there as well. So, am I right in thinking Lithuanians is fast castle? Is that what I hear people say?
I mean, with a map that this easy to wall, it makes sense to go for a fast castle. But obviously, just looking at the vills, it might. Well, it's still possible, but they might also go fire ships and delay it a little bit, try and take out the other people's eco. I suspect that will probably be the play. I remember last time this map was played, they both got the other team got out their fire ships very quickly, managed to kill all of K1's fishing eco, and that kind of set the precedent for the rest of the game.
Was that this one? Was that these two?
Yeah.
Was that
no, it wasn't. It was random catch up, and I can't remember. I think it was Abu, who was his team.
Against K1 and Amesy.
Yeah,
that was right. And Team Whatever lost this map. No, they pulled it back. Was that right?
No, they lost the map. They pulled it back a little bit, but they lost this map. But they ended up winning this. Obviously, they won the series 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting then. So who picked this map first, Crater Lake? It was Dave and the Dog, right? That's it.
It was Dave and the Dog. Yeah. Were you even listening to his shit?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, it was Dave and the Dog who picked this one because I guess they'd seen that Whatever had lost this map previously. So, yeah, maybe that influenced their decision. Maybe they just like the map. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've got to keep the conversation flowing, so let's apologise if I do ask you the same thing. No, I won't. The Dog sending his sheep to Dave then.
Wow.
Is that... I mean, did Lithuanians benefit from that?
Well, Dave is going to be clicking straight to castle, right? Look at his resources. He's basically just needs 50 or 40 food more to click up. Yeah. Alpha might be sending them over because he is going to be going fire ships. I'm already seeing, fire ships are out for K1 already.
Yeah, he's already got more on the go, and he's already got 3 docks down as well, Scylla. So it's definitely going to be tough for Dave and the Dog here to retain water.
I can already see Alpha's and Eames's economy as well, and those fire ships are going to be heading up, hopefully, to help Dave out. And remember, those red fire ships, the Byzantine ones, are going to be attacking 25% quicker, so they are going to be a little bit better with equal numbers.
Let's see what happens here then with regards to that. Yeah, I think they've got K1's fire ship there. Surprised he hasn't sent that one back. Perhaps he just wants to go after the fishing ships instead. Good old water battle to start off with, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a treat today, right?
Yeah, it is looking quite positive for K1 right now. He's doing a lot considering it's basically just him going for the fire ships.
More coming over
however,
as well.
Dave has clicked up to castle. Although if his fishing ships aren't working, his eco isn't really going to be fantastic just with those villages.
Yeah, 25 vils for Dave then, 29 for Alpha Dog, whilst Amesy's on 26 and K1, as you'd expect, in front on 30. Eldar, how are you? Welcome in. Lovely to see you here. I think you hit that follow button earlier as well, didn't you? So thank you very much for that as well. All helps.
I think if Alpha can get 1 or 2 more fire ships here, he can take that fight. Eamesy's got a few adding in as well. Can we just check Stuart if K1 has walled up his side? Just out of
Yeah,
interest.
we've got walls
He has.
on that side, most definitely. It looks like Amesy's not walled up.
Wow.
Yet, Sulla. I don't know if that's a cause for concern, but the dog is. Alpha Dog is. So I don't know if Amesy's maybe scouted that out and realised that Alpha Dog's walled quite heavily on that side. Big water battle then with Dave going up to castle in the meantime. A lot of fire ships here.
That's a lot of fire ships. Yeah. I'm just looking at the vills for everyone. Dave, being in castle, obviously he's got the lowest. He's 6 behind his teammate. K1 with the most on 35. Eamsy's on 28. So bit of an eco advantage in terms of vills. Just looking at the fishing ships, 3 for K1, 4 for Eamsy.
Yeah.
Just 2 for Dave actually, and 4 for Alpha. So wow, this looks like
and if you look at this up here as well, I mean, look, you've still got K1 putting pressure on Dave up there to stop Dave from sending reinforcements down, and obviously Amesy's still free to send reinforcements, although it looks like Amesy's in a little bit of trouble there and he's left those fishing ships alone.
Yeah, I think Alpha with the reinforcements should win that fight there, but the thing is, all his fishing ships are over here, and I'm assuming K1's just being really annoying on Dave's fish eco, and I don't think any of Dave's just got 2 fishing ships working there, so not ideal for sure.
For sure.
But then again, K1
no pun intended there, so I'm sure. Oh, I did it as well.
K1 and Eamsy also don't really have much of a fishing economy, so there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of killing going on, but right now the fish eco for any player isn't really looking brilliant.
Isn't really the greatest. So that makes you think, what are they up to on land then? I mean, Dave's gone up to castle, but doesn't really look like he's much to up on land. So, I mean, is that castle purely for the water benefit then there, Sulla?
I guess he would have hoped to have a bit better of an eco. We're only just seeing him get the res to put down another TC. Looks like Alpha has massed up a good amount of fire ships now. Dave's also added some in, so they've definitely got the water advantage right now.
Like they're starting to take it back, doesn't it? So that's for sure. Look at this, Dave and the dog making a real way here. I mean, if you remember last time, wasn't it a case that they didn't want to invest too much into water, but they, it was.
Yeah, no, I remember they lost it very early. And I think if you're in Eamsy's position right now where you haven't really got a massive fire galleys, you want to be adding in those demo rafts. Because even with 1 or 2, just getting 1 or 2 good hits can really change things up. And we're just seeing a second TC come down.
3 TCs, 3 TCs. So you've got one at the north and at the south of the screen as well. Alpha Dog, look at that wall. Look at the wall. He doesn't want any trouble coming in from that side. Makes me think that the fight's going to be the other side then, over at Dave's side. Maybe is where they're going to push.
And I think if Dave collapses on K1's army here, Stuart, oh no, he's gone away. That could have been quite nice.
Okay, I just want to see what's going on over here. Okay, so it's just Amesy's scout sat there. I wasn't sure if he was up to something or not. I'm not sure. Weston in the chat. Weston, how are you, my dude? Weston's another streamer actually. Weston streams on his own channel as well. Do go and give him a follow. He's in the chats. Just click on his name and click that follow button. It is free to follow, but he's got some great content. He's working on some really good content at the moment as well. But look, just coming back to this, Sulla. Looks like Alpha Dog's retreating there.
I'm a bit worried about Eamsy's economy. He's got an insane amount of food, but he just hasn't clicked to Castle Age yet. Obviously, he has now just clicked to Castle, but he is very, very far behind the other players. Obviously, looking at the score, doesn't look great. K1's score looking pretty healthy, but Eamsy is very far behind both of the opposing players. Okay. And K1 is going to have a really tough time basically fighting 2v1 right now. Remember, when those Castle Age upgrades hit, suddenly your feudal ships are not really paying their value back anymore.
Yeah.
Who do you think's winning this fight, Stuart?
Well, we can't say we haven't seen enough water action so far in this series. Oh, I mean, look at this from Dave here. This is going to be relentless against K1. It's going to really hold K1 back from.
Could be a nice demo there, here, Stuart.
Nice. I think he's got to try. He's got to try from he can get, because if Dave can hold K1 at bay here, it's certainly going to let Alpha Dog clean the rest of these up, right? And then go on to attack Amesy some more. So let's see what happens then. Amesy 40 seconds until he hits castle. So come on then, Sulla. What are we going to see next then in terms of move? Are we going to, on land? Let's talk about land then. What's going to be the first move of play?
So if you don't have control of water in this map, and obviously it's not really looking great for whatever right now, even though K1's score is still looking pretty massive, you need to think that you're going to have limited gold. So if you're going to win on land, you need to do it quickly. And we saw the last game with whatever. They got a really good push going, and then when that push ended and they ran out of gold, it was kind of GG, wasn't it, Stuart?
Yeah.
So unless K1 somehow finds a miracle to get water back, he needs to basically do a one-hit wonder. And obviously with Dog basically getting some more ships from Eamesy actually probably won't be enough to deal with all these ships coming from Alpha, although K1 is sending a bit of health. But once you start losing your docks, which it looks like Eamsy's probably going to very soon, the water is going to slowly become unwinnable if Alpha and Conserve Dave keep their production up.
Keeps going, that's it. Cool. Okay, as Atomic, thank you very much for joining in. Welcome in the chat there. I see the first time chat. Jester Corey as well. How are you doing, my dude? Buddy Baddy, welcome. Thank you for the follow there. Much appreciated. Keeps you up to date with the next games, next tourneys that are going to be streamed. Stretch, yeah, I could do with a stretch. I could do with a stretch.
Shit,
we're only 26 minutes in.
I know, but this army from K1 is just doing so much work.
Yeah.
He's not giving up, is he? And one thing I noticed is that whatever have been researching the extra space in their transport ships, so we might be seeing some very cheeky transport ships, which I would very much like to see. I don't know about you, Stuart.
Well, I mean, if you look at the walling from both Dave and the Dog, I mean, Alpha Dog's walls is, no one's getting through there anytime soon, are they? And then if you look at Dave's, it looks like he's, battening down the hatches, shall we say, his side as well. So will be interesting to see. Yeah, maybe the transport ship is the way that they're going to go instead. So we will see. Only time will tell. If only Dave knew he was so close to a couple of fishing ships there that he could just finish off, right? It's the beauty of casting. You can see it all happening. Okay, castle going up from Alpha Dog then. Definitely a defensive castle.
Yep. It's going to secure the stone, secures that side of the wall just in case EMZ tries a cheeky little push. It's a nice castle. And just looking at the vills as well, 2Boys1, sorry, Dave and the Dog. Dave and the Dog's vills are looking pretty healthy right now. Fishing ship eco is pretty much gone, but this does look like a good fight for K1. He's been adding in the galleys as well with the fire ships. That's going to be very tough to beat. It's kind of like having man-at-arms in front of archers as such, rather than just having one kind of unit.
Yeah,
it's kind of ideal.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be sandwiched on two sides. So if Alpha and Dave can get a kind of two-sided sandwich going on when they take a fight, they only need one good fight. K1 is taking some good fights here, but it just kind of feels like he's hanging on, Stuart. Eamsy's just not really in the water game right now.
Yeah. Okay, interesting point from Weston in the chat then. Is it worthwhile getting on that island and putting towers on it? We know that's what you'd do, Weston, wouldn't you? Love a tower. I suppose he's right, isn't he, Sulla? Get on there early, get a couple of towers on there, might stop
definitely
dropping a vill off, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. If you can get a castle there, you kind of secure the area around the gold, and remember their ships can't really come near the island, so you've always got a place to retreat to as such. But when you're trying to micro a million different things, Mr. Weston, and trying to do transport ships and build castles, it can be quite tough.
Yeah, that's it. Perlin bringing up what you mentioned there as well, Sulla.
Demo ships.
K1 being too far away from the island, so it could be quite a big deal for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned it before, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, not to blame the RNG, but it does feel like K1 is a bit further away from the island than everyone else, which is not ideal. He's also having to micro all these galleys, which takes up so much time when you're trying to macro your entire economy. Obviously, if you've got fire ships, you can kind of just let them loose and do their own thing. And it looks like Dave and Alpha have been adding in fire ships as well. Sorry, demo ships as well, which... you know, when you're trying to do all this micro and everything and you miss one, it can they can really pay their value back.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any transport ships yet.
Okay. Dave's pinging here. I can only imagine it's due to the relic. Obviously, Dave being Lithuanians, that relic's quite important to him, right?
Definitely.
But be interesting to see how they're going to go and how they're going to go and fetch that. Whether they're going to have to break down his Great Wall of China.
Dave has actually clicked up to Imperial as well, and
wow.
I'm just looking at the res from other players. Alpha seems like the only player who's sort of anywhere near Imp at the moment. Eamsy has a hell of a lot of gold, but he's just not really in a position where he can utilize all of it. K1's producing like a madman. I don't really see him going to Imp anytime soon, especially with only 9 villagers on gold. Unfortunately, when Dave gets... Oh, now both players up to Imp. When those players get to Imp and they start getting out the fast fire ships and the galleons, it's going to be pretty much impossible for K1 and Eamsy to contend, unfortunately.
Ooh, so okay, and the score's ever increasing for Dave and the dog as well, whilst Dave his villagers get to work on building that castle. Eamsy getting his castle down as well then. Lots of action on the water.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what K1 now just kicking up to him.
Here we go then. Spotted a transport ship from K1.
Wow.
Let's see what happens here. 10 villagers stacked inside it. Wow, let's see. Is he going to get past?
This is absolutely huge.
Yeah, is he going to get... Oh, okay, it's Eamsy as well, isn't it? It's not even... yeah, look, nice patrol of this area, escorting the 10 vills. Weston, is your dream going to come true, my friend? Let's see. What's the first thing he builds then? Come on, let's see. Let's all have a guess. Come on. What's the first thing he puts down?
A mill, for sure.
He's got the stone for a castle, Sulla.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a castle. And if you'd said this 5 minutes ago, I would have said this is an amazing play. The problem is that when the other players see this, they're going to be getting Callan galleons out, and that castle is going to be going down pretty quickly.
Straight down. Okay.
There needs to be some kind of landing from K1 and Eamsy right now, otherwise it's just going to be impossible for them. I'm just seeing Dave now teching into galleons and fast fire ships and conscription. Whew. It's going to be pretty hard when he starts getting all that army out.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he's got to contend with these, whatever they are, tigers, snow leopards. We've got snow leopards here on this beautiful, hot, sunny map.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did they get there?
Yeah. Weston dropped them off there. Put them there before the start of the game. Good stuff. All right, cool. Where are we at then? So let's see what's going on. So 2 castles down from Alpha Dog. I love Alpha Dog's positioning across his side of the map. He's nice and spread out rather than being all bunched up in one side.
Yeah, despite Dave and the dog sort of doing a fantastic feudal and castle age on the water, my only criticism of the last few minutes is their armies have just been completely idle, and I think just looking at the size of their armies, they could probably take a good fight here. Maybe they're just saving up for that fast fire ship. I'm not too sure. But chemistry now coming in for Alpha, and I suspect we're going to be seeing some cannon galleons very, very shortly. Ideally, they want to be taking this fight against K1 before he gets to Bracer and Galleon. However, that castle is going to give them an area where they just can't take a fight. Maybe if they go to the other player's base, that could be the play.
Yeah. Well, they know the castle's there now, Sulla, that's for sure.
Yeah, and K1's research heated shot, something you might not always get in the university, guys. I think it basically means your castles and towers do more damage to the ships. This is an absolutely massive fight. I don't think it's one that they should be taking under the fight. I'm just seeing all these fires going down so quickly.
Yeah.
K1's getting chemistry and the galleon upgrade now. This seems like a great trade for K1.
Yeah, fantastic. I wonder if we're going to see the scores switch just from this fight. I doubt it though, because there's still quite a bit in it, and obviously with with Dave and the dog being up to imp, although Amesy's has gone up now. They're all imp. So let's see. Second castle on the island now.
But 2 cannon galleons in the queue for Alpha. And remember, those docks are very, very close to the island.
Could probably take it down from there, Sulla.
Yeah, and Stuart, even though that fight was really, really bad for Alpha and Dave, they lost so much just to kill a few ships. It really just doesn't matter because they're so far ahead in eco, and with those cannon galleons coming up, you know, as long as they could kill K1's army and protect those cannon galleons, they're going to be getting control of the island straight back.
Yeah. Okay. Dave's got some cavalier then. He's looks like he might be massing up in his base. I'm not sure, unless he was waiting for the scout to come through to break through. He's trying to get a veil. Go on, car. He nearly did. Okay, let's see what's happening over here then with Dave and the dog pushing K1's docks. Obviously, this is going to damage K1 quite a bit if he starts losing a few of these docks, right, Sulla?
Yeah, definitely. And we've actually got Paladin coming in for Dave. And even if K1 can win a fight here, I mean, what land army has he got just to prevent a few of those Paladins getting into his base? Absolutely nothing right now. Because, like I said, all game, he's just been putting 100% of his economy into just outright production of galleons.
What's going on here, Sulla? Please tell me Dave didn't click his villagers to go round somewhere and they're trying to walk the long way round. That could be pretty bad, buddy. He's got 11 vills stuck round here with Amesy's 1 scout. Let's see what he does to combat that. Oh, here we go. Meanwhile, the first tower looks like it's coming down. John 803, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in indeed. We hope you're enjoying it so far. Don't forget, if you want to get involved in our Discord in Hermetica Clan, feel free to do so. Links in the chat, my buddy.
I think it's hard for K1 right now. He needs to figure out a way to kill these cannon galleons because he just can't repair forever. Yeah. Emsy needs to figure out a way to, well, first of all, deal with these villagers on a hike, but also just kind of apply pressure somewhere. Take the pressure of K1 a little bit because right now Dave's in a fantastic position. The only thing that Alpha and Dave are lacking, and I've just seen this, 15 on gold for Alpha, just 6 on gold for Dave. So unless they get this middle island back fairly soon, they are going to be struggling for gold. However, the problem is K1 has got 0 on gold right now, and all his villagers are repairing this castle constantly. So there's no way that he can reliably take gold unless he wants to travel the high seas with more villagers. But I don't think they'll be getting through, to be honest, Mr. Stewart.
Yeah, okay, will be interesting to see. Perhaps we'll keep an eye out for another transport ship with a good old flag in it. In the meantime, I'm going to say Dave hasn't noticed about his vills because we've still got... I mean, this poor fella here is only trying to do his job, Sulla. Gonna have to ask Dave about that one in the interview at the end. That's for sure.
I'm just looking at the north of K1's base, Stuart.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to come in with a cav. I don't think they're going to get through, are they? I think it's safe to say they've got that pretty secure there. K1's going to slap up some more walls. Takes a lot to take these walls down, right?
Absolutely. And it's just incredible, really, that even with the big economy advantage that they had a few minutes ago, somehow K1 has kept both these castles up, and I just never would have. I didn't give him the credit. I really didn't think he would be able to. Yeah. But this looks like it's going to be a pretty good fight for whatever. They've always got that castle to retreat to, and now those villagers in the middle can take gold. If Emsy and K1 can get some more villagers into the middle and get some good gold, like good gold income, it's their game to lose, really. However, Alpha and Dave still do have a bit of an eco advantage. Are they going to be applying any more pressure on land? That's the question. Just Is that 2 petards coming forward, Stuart, north of K1's base?
No, it looks like a lot of villagers.
Just villagers.
Looks like they're going to be dropping a castle down next to K1's base. Although I don't know if these ships are going to have the range on it, Sulla. It's interesting to see now.
Yeah, I think K1 needs to just get 1 or 2 cannon galleons out here just to prevent that castle from going up. Otherwise, it could be very, very annoying. And Eamesy actually teching into crossbowmen. So
quite a bit of trade happening now, Sulla. I don't know if you can see between Dave and the dog. I don't know if K1 and Eamesy have got any trade going. No, it looks like they haven't. I mean, yeah, look, they've got all the gold in the island in the middle, but obviously it's always good to get the trade route set up, right?
Trade is great, but trade's only good if you can defend it. And remember, this is a really skinny map on the sides. So if K1 and Eamesy can get some water control on the side of either Dave or Alfred's base, they can take that trade out potentially. And remember, you're always going to prefer villagers on gold to making trade, especially when you don't have any gold to make the trade. So if the trade gets going for Alpha and Dave and they get a good number of trade carts, then it could be good. But if K1 and Eamesy can press their advantage, get some more villagers into the middle, could be very, very good.
K1 queuing up a treb now then, so looks like they can take that castle down. And Dry Dock coming in for K1 as well, so maybe they are going to look to try and get some more numbers over. Let's see, 60% on the treb now then. I mean, they're going to get the castle down, right? No, pretty much no issues there. Unless Dave, of course, keeps his vills there to repair. Yeah, I mean, look, it's even in range for the ships there, although it's hurting K1's ships a bit.
So Stuart, right now, who do you think's got a better position? Because
I mean, 10 minutes ago I'd have said Dave and the dog look like they might have it in the bag, buddy. But you know, maybe K1 made this move at the right time.
Yeah, true. You can tell that Alpha and Dave are short of gold because you can see they're just selling all their resources like crazy, and the gold is just going in and out straight away. But yeah, I just can't help but feel K1 and Eamesy need to be transporting those villagers over much quicker than they currently are. That castle, yeah, looks like it's going to be going down.
It's going to be going
very,
down,
very
especially
shortly.
with the Treb
Yeah,
sat there as well.
bit of a waste.
Okay, I mean, it looks like Dave and the dog really want to get this castle down. I think they want to maybe try and start seeing if they can take this middle. Of course, if they're totally out of gold and they just rely on the trade, then they need it. Well, I mean, look at that. Dave's got 26 trade carts out. Sorry, with 5 in the queue. Alpha Dog 11 with 2 in the queue. Looks like they're really going to start trading. Another transport ship coming over for Eamesy. There you go. Here we go. What have we got inside this one then? 16 villagers this time. Are they going to go and try and dock on? No, they're not going to go and dock on their side, are they? It's probably going to be another drop off to this gold here, I should imagine.
Yeah, I suspect so, and that's really, really going to help. And just in case anybody's wondering, those paladins getting cleaned up. Dave needs to get those back. Even though the sensible choice would obviously just to be build a few TCs in the middle. Unfortunately, all the hills on the Crater Island means you can't actually build a TC. So yeah, it's kind of annoying transporting your villagers over. It takes a bit more micro than perhaps one would expect.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so all the villagers over then. Some of them are going to the castle, but yeah, going to be more for the gold.
31 trade carts for Dave.
The points have slowly taken over now as well, Sulla. Team Whatever are slightly in the lead. I mean, look, more vills, more army. I mean, look at Eamesy's bank. 6.5k food, nearly 4k food. And sorry, 6.5k wood and 4k food.
Yeah, he really needs to focus getting those villagers into the middle. We're just not seeing any pressure on either player's base right now, and even in the middle of the map, it's just kind of
yeah. And look what K1's done, Sulla. Pop 2 docks here.
Yeah.
Fantastic play, right? Keeps the resources back up, shall we say, for the ships, just on tap. I think they're going to take water.
Yeah, it looks like it. And like you said, they can always just retreat a little bit back to that kind of enclave with the 2 castles and the 2 docks as well.
We've got a lot of K1 supporters in the chat. K1 OP. K1 is God. Some real supporters in the chat for K1 here. K1's selling a lot of food for gold now, abusing that market. Amesy's bank still climbing. 7.5k wood, 4.5k food.
Honest opinions of water map, Stuart? You a big fan?
Oh, not really. I like Nomad. I like Nomad. But that's probably about it. That's as far. Nomad and 4 lakes. That's what I would say. Okay, Agrippa. Again, Agrippa in the chat there. Another high elo player, everybody. Very high, in fact. Alpha's team lacking the galleys. Galleys are the unit to go on water later in the game.
Yeah, Agrippa's totally right. Fire ships at the start tend to be better, but into the late game, when you get that massive galleons, the fire ships just don't really work out anymore. And I think K1 went over to galleons way quicker than the other 2 players, and he's basically fought kind of a 2v1 for large parts of the game. But now Dave is getting a real nice number of the galleons out. Bracer coming in, chemistry coming in. Would have liked to have seen that a little bit earlier, but better late than never, as they say. Yeah. And am I seeing something going on in Alpha Dog space, Stuart? Seeing some green dots. Oh no, just
I think it's just if the fire ships on the side there, maybe trying to break down the wall. I don't know, maybe he does want to look like, see if he can come in there. Let's see if he's got any armies. I mean, look, K1's Treb's coming round there. I don't see any of your armies being massed at all in Amesy's base. Although his villagers could do with another replenish of the lumberjacks either side there. But there's so much going on, Sulla.
Absolutely. It just seems really hard for any of the players to win this kind of water fight right now. K1 with just an absolutely insane number of galleons. It doesn't look like Dave's going to be able to take this fight. Alpha's actually gone to K1's base. Emsy is chasing him there. I just think if any of the players can get a good landing right now, completely catch off the other players, there's barely any landing units for not any of the players right now. It could just be huge, but we just know how difficult it is to do your economy, do all these ships, do the fighting of the ships, and then also do a landing. It's just an insane amount of macro and micro, yeah.
Exactly. Still got a little army up there from Dave taking a rest, I see. K1's Treb's coming round now with the Genesee crossbowman. Let's see. Oh, he's in.
Oh wow!
I mean, the castle's going to take him. I suppose the thing here, though, which will be a problem for K1, is this is now alerted to Alpha Dog, right? He's now alerted to this particular situation, so he can go and sort that out pretty sharpish. Albeit, if he doesn't have any army, he can't. It's certainly going to be interesting to see when he hasn't got any units on land, right?
I think it's very important. The first player that notices that there's a gap there could be absolutely huge, couldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my concern here, buddy, is that K1 doesn't know that the Treb's set to go this way, and the Treb's just, and that's what it looks like. It looks like he's going to lose his Treb.
I don't think the castle has ballistics. Which is why it's not losing any HP, which is insane at this point in the game. You'd think everyone would have ballistics. He has now noticed because the villagers are now attacking it. It's a missed opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the Treb's going to go down there from K1, which is a bit of a shame.
Just looking at the gold situation, Stuart, I mean, that's kind of the most important thing right now. Dave's got a pretty healthy 34 trade carts. Alpha's on 13. I mean, you sort of need, at least double that. K1's got 32 on gold. Eamsy's got 19 on gold. Obviously got a really secure position in the middle. Eamsy's getting a very nice castle in the south as well. And it just seems like these fights on water are just kind of slowly being edged for whatever. They just seem to be getting the trades. That kind of massive galleons hasn't disappeared for the last few minutes for K1. And that Treb is making a bit of a nuisance of itself.
Going on there,
yeah. But yeah, the train, if you're in this position, it feels like the trade line seems a lot more vulnerable than the middle, doesn't it? And it just looks like Dave and Alpha just getting pushed back ever so slightly every few minutes.
Yeah, we've got some interesting comments in the chat. Vicious Satsuma, welcome in actually, member of the Hermetica clan there, seen you in the Discord quite a few times. Lovely to have you here. In retrospect, Dave and Alpha Dog's big mistake was trying to go for land earlier. All that res invested into Paladin when they're about to run out of gold. Couldn't agree more, Sulla.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And actually all those Paladins kind of just died for nothing, really. There wasn't really a concerted effort to transport them over, get into the other player's base. And we're looking at this situation right now. It only takes a few galleons to get in here, to take out those TCs, and the economy is starting to look, non-existent.
Yeah.
And I know this mass from K1, like I said earlier, is just present all game. And it just doesn't look like they have any way of getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Especially with you go, sorry.
I've got to cut you off. The Genesee crossbowman has made a lap around the map and is still alive. That, I think, if someone can kind of, maybe caption that. Oh, he's decided to go back. Unbelievable. The Treb sadly didn't make it, but this little buddy's got 1 HP left. He did make it as well.
I think you just kind of assume that every player's walled up, right? So I don't blame K1 for kind of not noticing.
Yeah, Genesee OP Western, that's right, they are. There you go. Not OP, they're HP, that's what they are.
I'm going to say it, Stuart, I don't think Dave and Alpha can get back in this game. I just think all the water control is now for whatever. They've got fires in front, galleons behind, and they've actually, the most important thing here is Dave and Dog are now isolated from each other. They can't combine their armies. And Dave can retreat as much as he wants here, but yeah, it's not going to be enough.
Oh, he can't go all the way, can he? That's the thing. I mean, technically, look, could one of them run and do a quick raid to try and finish it off a bit quicker? I mean, there's clearly a path coming through here that they surely would have known about, right?
Yeah, the thing is, once you lose your docks on the front and once you lose your initial army, you need to get up to the numbers that the opponents have. And do you see any way that they can get that kind of numbers right now? And
well, no, I mean,
look at yeah,
cannon galleons there just taking the TCs down for fun.
And they're now through to the trade, Stuart. Trade's actually running along the waterline, and I think we're going to be seeing the GG very, very shortly.
Yeah. Okay. Just as we approach the hour mark as well, then it's been a fun. I mean, it's been a fun game. It's been a tough game, I think, for both teams really. I think they've had their fair share of battles. I think there you go. You called it, Sulla. GG from Dave. Waiting for the GG to come in from the Dog. He's already GG'd it. And there we go. GG, well played. Yes, Jester, the crossbow. I don't know. I mean, is he still alive? Be interesting to see if he was still alive. Actually, I think he must have passed. He must have passed, unfortunately. There we go then. For the set so far, we've got Team Whatever 1-0 up on 2Boys1Cup. Dave and the Dog. What do we say? Where do we go from here?
Do you think 2Boys1Cup kind of feel like they've thrown it a little bit?
Well, I think as Vicious Satsuma rightly pointed out in the chat, perhaps if Dave didn't go into that, then they might have been able to put it back on water a bit. But then saying that, maybe Dave's thought was, look, get some paladins in there and try and raid through the base, and buy a bit more time, or a bit, buy a bit of the advantage back. And obviously it just didn't pay off. So
yeah,
hindsight's a wonderful thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And actually looking back on it, I mean, I was wrong, but K1's play to get those 2 castles into the middle was, I think, Stuart, would you agree, was basically the reason they won that game?
100%, yeah, securing that gold. I mean, you rightly pointed out early on in the game, didn't you, quite on, that 2Boys1Cup was getting very low on gold. And like Satsuma pointed out in the chat, he used all the res on going up to Paladin. Yeah, I think that was the winning point of the game, definitely.
I think Alpha and Dave will be disappointed that they didn't win that game. Both getting to Imp first, winning the water early, both having better eco going into mid castle and Imp. They kind of got the right upgrades at the start of Imp, but actually Agrippa made a great point, which is they didn't diversify their military on water quick enough. We just saw fire ships and fire ships and fire ships, and it was only right at the end, when it was kind of already looking not great for them, that they started adding in the galleons as well. And ultimately that's why they lost water. But also maybe they could have done a bit more to get those castles down. I would have liked to have seen a castle with an Alpha's base next to the water, just to give them a position to push from. But no landings either. I mean, I don't know about you, Stuart. I would have liked to have seen a landing.
You thought one was coming, didn't you?
Yeah, I was convinced.
You thought one was coming. Yeah, that's right. I mean, when we saw Ames's ship coming over, transport ship coming over to the middle, I mean, I suppose it was quite obvious he just wanted to take the middle at that time, right? But I mean, again, these 2 docks right here on the island, 3 docks, 5 docks on the island. Again, great play. Made him bring his water units a lot closer to take the battle on and keep that pressure applied. So yeah, I think well played so far from both teams, and really exciting to see the next one. Do we know what it is? Do we know what map it is, Sulla?
I believe, Mr. Stewart, is Runestones, but don't quote me.
Runestones next. Okay, no problem at all. Well, look, guys, we are going to take a short break. It is going to be a very short break, all right? Please don't go anywhere. Probably looking at a couple of minutes, absolute max, just while the teams sort out their new game. And I need the little boys' room. So that we won't be long, all right? Stay right there. Yeah, exciting times. Round 2. Let's do it. Okay, it's Runestones. Very open, Scylla, right?
Really open. So not quite as open as Arabia. Wood lines are a bit more forgiving, a bit thicker, so you can't necessarily just get shot over them in feudal. And like you can see, the walls look pretty simple here. Sometimes in Arabia, excuse me, you have to do some very fancy walling. Just looking at the civs, Persians and Ethiopians for Dave and the dog, humans, ooh, and Hindustanis. Did you expect that, Stuart?
I would not have put K1 down for a Cummins player. No. Lovely to see Amesy repping Hindustanis. Fantastic. Fantastic. This is going to be my sort of game, Sulla.
I think.
You know, I can tell you everything that Amesy's going to do with Hindustanis, as I'm such a pro player with Hindus. Of course, scouts into camels. And then on to K1 then, Sulla.
Yeah, it's super weird, right? Humans, I mean, they're fine. They get the cheaper stables, they get the cheaper archery ranges. Would you rank them as like an insane civ in the feudal age or the castle age? Absolutely not. However, I've always got that option for going to 2 TCs. Is K1 going to wall up really early, do 2 TCs? I don't know. It's very risky. Is Eamesy going to do what he's done every day game, fast castle into camels? Seems to work pretty well so far, hasn't it, Stuart?
Yeah, certainly. Certainly, when he's got them out early enough and he's applied the pressure. I mean, look, we all know how powerful those camels can be as well, right? And obviously, Hindustanis can go all the way up to imp camels, right? Not just the heavy camels that most other civs can get.
Yeah, certainly in Imperial Age, K1 and Eamesy are going to have a kind of a strange unit comp with 2 cavalry civs. Maybe we might see kip checks or something like this. Ooh, quite close.
Played it safe there without garrisoning the Vils there. What does everyone make of that? Let us know in the chat. High elo player there, having a little close one when it comes to the ball. We all do it though, right? So we all do indeed.
We've all had a few shockers, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's it exactly. All right, so look, your standard stuff going on here then in Dark Age. Let's see Alpha Dog bring in his deer here.
So,
go on.
I think we've kind of noted every game with whatever that both of the players have gone for K1, kind of just ignored Eamesy, and then Eamesy actually got himself into a really nice position, pushed them back, and then K1's kind of being able to kind of get his composition out, get loads of knights out, and win the game. Do you think the other team have noted that? Do you think they're actually going to be going for Eamesy this game, or do you think they're just going to stick with the standard tactic and just go for K1?
It's a great point to make, isn't it? I think, you know, sticking with the standard of going for the highest elo player first kind of does make sense, doesn't it? I'm just trying to remember who's the higher elo out of Dave and Dog.
They're actually pretty similar.
Pretty similar. Okay.
Very similar.
Okay. Weston said this a couple of times now. Amesy very good at holding the line when he's being attacked. Very true, actually. Very strong defensive player. So it looks like Team Whatever are going to... look, you can tell they're talking. So I love the teamwork between these two players. Both going for the wall at the same time. Yeah,
really early walls from both players. I think they've definitely planned something.
Yeah. Okay.
You wouldn't usually see it this early, would you?
Agrippa and Susuma in the chat then. So Agrippa saying 2 ranges forward, Cumin production, and later on, later on second TC. With Vicious Susuma, I would love to see full feudal Cumins with 1 TC, but Rams.
I mean,
the Rams.
So would I, Mr. Satsuma. So would I. Ooh. K1's gone up with 19 villagers. I don't think. I mean, I doubt he can do a double archery range with Cumins and 19 pop.
I don't.
I think he's either going to go for scouts or he's going to go for 2 TCs. I don't think that's going to work, by the way. 2 TCs against 2 very good players on the other team. It feels like something that's just going to get punished. But, I mean, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Rams as well.
Yeah, it would be good. Well, I'm sure they'll all put on a good show for us. I mean, that first game was a bit of a show. Maybe not for the non-water lovers, but if you like water, I reckon you was on your edge of your seat watching the early part of that water battle anyway. Obviously, towards the late in game, it was definitely whatever's way, wasn't it?
Definitely. So Eamsy's last click up, 24 villages. A little bit higher than expecting on an open map like this. Just looking at his res now, I don't think he is going to have enough to go for an FC. Doing some pretty ambitious walls on the outside of his base, Stuart.
Well, he's keeping the gold in there. He's keeping the gold in. Do you know what? It's funny you said that. I was thinking it as he was doing it. I was thinking, God, should he be doing it there, or should he just go straight across here? But he's keeping the gold in his in his base. You know, if he does it here with this bit of gold as well. Yeah.
I think it. Stuart, personally, not that I'm a pro, but it's a very ambitious wall.
Well, it's why it's nice having a low elo legend and a high elo player both casting the stream, right? It's you know, everyone's getting it from both perspectives as to what we'll do. Second TC coming down, then obviously this is the benefit of the Cummins, right, Silla? You get the second TC in feudal, right?
Wow, second TC. That is, I'm shocked. I am literally shaking, as they say.
You didn't think he would do it? You didn't think he would do it?
I don't think he had the balls to do it, but he's gone for it, and I think we are going to have an insanely enjoyable feudal age right now. It's going to be really interesting, and full walls down, pretty much. Well, full walls for K1. Looks like Eamsy's going to get his walls down as well. I'm not sure Dave and the dog are going to expect this. There is a scout in Eamsy's base, so he does know what's going on.
Yeah, he knows what Aim's at. I mean, he's not going to get out there. I think he's going to end up losing that scout. He does. I mean, he nearly took one of his Vils out there. I don't know if you can see. One of his Vils is quite low on HP, but he did obviously have Loom. Obviously important to take early on, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Dave just starting to wall now then.
Well, to be honest, walling right now for Dave and the dog seems a little bit pointless, right? Because I highly doubt K1 and Eamsy are going to be attacking anytime soon, especially with the 2 TCs for K1. What they need to be doing right now is going straight to K1's base and trying to do as much damage as they can.
Well, here the scouts come, and here the archers and spearmen come from. Looks like they're doing it. Silla, you asked at the start of the stream, what are they going to do? Are they going to do the normal strat of going for the high elo player first, or try and stop Aimsy from getting up? I thought they was going to go and storm K1, but
sure. I just saw that K1's put a tower on his stone straight away.
Yeah.
Which is actually a really sensible thing to do, because I think the one thing that will save in this game is a few towers, because I don't think walls are going to be enough. Remember, Cumin's not actually getting stone walls either. They do get the higher HP palisade walls though, so that can be quite clutch.
Looks like Dave wants to apply the pressure, Silla. I hope we don't have another game where we wish that they was pushing when they, could have pushed more, right? I mean, we see that a lot when you cast, don't you? You sort of think to yourself, right, they need to go now.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a decent amount of military on the field for the other team right now, but nothing really being applied yet.
Just out of range, look, for those archers.
Yeah, I think that point there does seem to be the weak spot. Obviously, if they can get in there, they can take the gold, they can take the berries, and obviously there's a wood line there as well. But the scouts do need to come over so that wall can go down a bit quicker. Are we going to be seeing a tower going down? That is a tower going down for K1, so
it is indeed.
That tower is going to really help.
Take both the wood lines as well, there, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. It looks like K1's done a great job of protecting the key points for what he needs.
And what did we say earlier, Stuart, about Eamesy just being left completely untouched?
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that works against them a little bit later on, but for now the pressure's remaining on K1. I wouldn't really say much pressure at the moment. They're not breaking through, are they? Oh, this is a good little
forward tower. Yeah,
forward tower, right?
K1s will go up first, and they're going to have to cancel that one. So it's a really nice reaction by K1. And then if you're going to go for a forward tower, 2 is often not enough, especially if you're going to do it in a place where the other player can see where the tower is going up. One thing to bear in mind, guys. And it looks like, Stuart, that K1 is getting away with this double TC, which is absolutely huge. Already seeing the villager difference. K1 pulling the head.
46.
What's that?
47.
Yeah,
with 4 and 5 in the queue.
10 villagers ahead already. And Eamesy's actually keeping up with both of them. So well played to Eamesy, being a few hundred elo below as well. Good for him.
Well, one can assume that Eamesy's picked up quite a lot of experience throughout this 2v2 Pangea tournament then.
I think it's. I think you would agree, Stuart, that Eamesy is probably one of the most improved players of the tournament. I would say.
Yeah. Standard quick walling, what you'd expect to see then from K1, bringing more villagers down to make sure that it can happen in time.
They're attacking in 2 different places right now, which seems like the right thing to do. You think, oh, well, you have to react in 2 different places. But the thing is, you need the archers behind the scouts. Otherwise, the villagers can just build all these houses and, K1's going to be fine. Yes, the archers are coming down right now, but K1 getting a tower up. Maybe they just need to commit and take the fire from the tower, because right now K1's eco is looking absolutely incredible, getting up to, is that 56 villagers? Wow.
Yeah, 56 with 6 in the queue still, so he's booming away, that's for sure. Eamesy's got some scouts on the way over there, only a couple. We'll see what they do. Obviously Ennie's going to help, right? But with these towers going down, there's not much Dave and the dog can do. Do you think they're getting frustrated already?
Wow, well, they must be feeling really frustrated right now. They know they're going to be really far behind on eco. Dave actually just clicking to Castle Age, but he is clicking to Castle Age with very, very with less, villagers. Just looking at Eamesy's eco right now, actually not what I was expecting, Mr. Stewart. I thought he would be clicking up to Castle Age very, very soon, but looks like he's gone for scout production instead. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think maybe just to try and help K1, try and maybe relieve a little bit of the pressure. Let's see what happens with it though. F1, welcome in, buddy. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. All helps keep up to date with what's going on with more tourneys as we do them as well.
Just looking at Eamesy's resources right now, he's sitting on 800 gold, producing scouts. Needs to probably just put down a market, sell a bit of that gold, get some food, and get himself up to castle where his camels are going to become a lot more useful. Another thing as well, do you feel like Dave and the dog couldn't really get much damage from K1, obviously? They could have just come over to Eamesy's base. Do you think that would have been the right play?
What do you mean before K1? I mean, have they left it too long? I mean, it's a good question to ask, isn't it? I mean, Eamesy's putting a bit of pressure onto Alpha Dog there. Not sure why he was pinging Dave there, unless it was to let him know where he was. Looks like these guys are going to get through, but I think Amesy's done a good job of quick walling up these houses.
I think there is going to be a fair bit of damage here.
Connection issue, yeah. Okay, guys. So I thought it as well. So I apologise if there's any if the stream's running a bit slow. We're getting guys are confirming in the chat that I was having connection issues. So I don't know if there's a bit of lag. Yeah, it's all sped up a little bit there. There we go. Quick garrison of the TC. This is a bit of trouble for Amesy Sulla, right?
Yeah, definitely. Many archers in his base, many scouts in his base. He's not going to be able to take gold in a second. Most of his eco is idle, as you can see. I mean, they've done the right thing. If they can't get damage on K1, then they might as well go to the other base. There's no point just sitting around.
Yeah, that's it. Shame he hasn't got a market, Amesy, because he could obviously just quickly transfer some of the resources about to then click up, right?
Yeah, definitely. We called it earlier. Just if you're sitting on so much gold, guys, just get yourself a market down. Yes, it doesn't feel great buying food at stupidly high prices, but it's better than just sitting around doing nothing. And Dave actually now getting the camels out, getting the +2, getting husbandry.
Yeah.
And that is going to be good against Cumans. Cumans do get camel, guys, but they don't go up to Imperial Well, not getting heavy camel. So if Dave can get up a decent number of camels, he won't need to worry about Eamesy. Eamesy's economy obviously not looking amazing. He is going to be clicking to castle soon, but probably not going to be able to contribute much for long. But just look at the amount of villages that K1 has right now. You kind of feel he's in a position to 2v1, don't you, Stuart?
Yeah, well, he's certainly done it a few times before, hasn't he? We'll certainly see. Forward Siege Workshop coming down from Alpha Dog then. Lots of resources, lots of military units here to help get that up. So I think that's going to be going up. Just want to quickly go back to this, obviously. You can have a little joke and laugh at me, but I think at this moment in time you was right about the walls being a waste there. Obviously we've happened to wall there. But we've still got the rest of the game, so we will come back to that bit. Dave getting his second TC down now then, one at the back there to get on that wood line. And Alpha Dog's just convinced he's going to go over here and do some damage to K1. Love it. Love this. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you can see the investment in killing K1 right now. Alpha's gone for Thumb Ring. Not usually something that you would get instantly. Maybe you'd use the wood to invest into extra TCs instead. And obviously the Forward Siege Workshop as well. So that's a lot of wood invested into this kind of push. We need Dave to be supporting him with a few more camels here. And it could be very, very dangerous for K1. But K1 now in cast stage, getting the +2 on the knights. He is going to be able to produce from easily 3 TCs, excuse me, if not more. Can have a lot of camels and knights on the go. Is he going to be able to push this back? This feels kind of like the pivotal moment of the game. I don't know what you think, Stuart.
Well, I think the camels are definitely going to take the knights back, right? It's probably why K1's not wanting to engage yet. Maybe just mass up a few more of them. Hanganal coming out as well. Oh, okay, interesting play then from K1, choosing to take the stance of attack rather than defend. Unless he hasn't seen it, of course, but now he has. Yeah, I think he didn't see it, so that's why.
Maybe he feels like he can just rely on the towers for a little bit to push this back. They are going to buy him a little bit of time. Obviously, a castle in between his TCs would be very nice.
Not walled up here, Silla. This is going to be interesting. Sorry to cut you off, but we've got the knights coming through. Looks like they're going to take the gold bills down. If K1's obviously microing right now, which it seems he is. Here he goes then. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, this is a really...
Expect to see some camels from Amesy as well, surely, Silla, right? Now going up to castle.
And the thing is that they've done this forward base, they've got the crossbows there, they've got the mangonels there, but there's just no damage being done. And already K1 has caused more damage to the opponent's base than they have to him all game.
Yeah.
Just to put it in perspective, you know, and he hasn't had to do a forward siege workshop or anything like that.
Wow.
Dave only on 2 TCs. It's just, it looks like he was going for a forward castle with all those villagers on stone.
Look at the Vils just dropping 36 now, Dave's down to 35, 34, 33, literally dropping like flies. Amesy gets a castle down as defence in his base.
And guys, just to put this in perspective, K1 has more villagers than the other team combined. It's just ridiculous.
They've tried to equip all those knights in then to see if he can take them on. He can't. We're going to go back to K1's base because it really looks like it's all starting to happen now with the tower going down and the wall down. And Dave and the dog pushing in. Let's see what's going to happen now then, Silla. Let's see if Dave and the dog can get their own back. All the vills into garrison then.
Lots of army here forward. Lots of pikemen as well. It's going to be... K1's not in a position where he can win this fight. But, Stuart, look at this base from K1. This is the exact base you want. You've got a gold right at the back. Not something the other players can see yet. You've got your other TC on the gold, protected by the towers as well. And that castle is going to come up and just cement his entire position. It's a perfect castle if you can get it up there. And if that castle comes down, it feels like K1's going to be able to survive this. He's got such a massive eco advantage right now. And if Eamesy can get back into this game, recover some of the losses he got earlier, it seems like whatever in a really good position.
Oh, he's certainly got a couple of camels come over. I don't know if they're going to be enough at this. Dave's decided to chase a couple of camels up here. I don't know, maybe he should have only sent a couple to chase Amesy and the rest back here to help.
Fight's been taken.
Help Alpha Dog. Let's hope the Mangrove doesn't come in and take out his own crossbowman.
Yeah, not the best fight ever for K1, but I think the reason he's done this is just to guarantee that castle coming up. He is going to be trading off a lot of knights for these crossbowmen. And yeah, you're completely right, Stuart. It feels like if Dave had more of the crossbowmen around them, it would have been a much better fight. Sorry, more of the camels around. It would have been a much better fight.
Yeah, yeah. Although I think they seem to have cleared the knights, but like you say, the castle's up. So let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, I think Amesy's a bit worried about this going back to K1 here. Another 12 camels coming over from Dave. That's certainly going to do some more damage. Although, is it a race to Imp now, Zula? Is that what this game's turning into?
So Alpha's clicked up to Imp. He's gone for the 1 TC. So obviously, his eco's not going to be amazing. He is going to be getting Arbalist in. If he can get chemistry as well and some bombard cannons out, can take down that castle. It could be a really, really nice play. Obviously, Dave is in not a great position right now. Only 44 villagers. Isn't going to be going to Imp anytime soon. So I think Alpha has got to do some pretty nice plays here in order for them to get back in pole position and such.
4th TC going up then for Dave. Meanwhile, still just the 2 for K1.
Forward castle as well. Stuart, right on the stone. I think K1 just start expanding to the sides of his base, maybe in between him and Eamesy.
Yeah, you've just called it right there, mate.
Yeah.
He's just slapped the TC down. Look at that. Spot on, Silla.
Only 2 vills on that castle, though, so if you can pick them off, could delay it for a while.
Yeah, he's sending the cavalry over now. Yeah, I think with these camels here, I think it's safe to say that castle's definitely going up. But look, you know, not too much of an issue if he's expanding back here, right? I mean, all off across there, he's got a lot of map.
Yeah, for sure.
With Dave and Dog in front with the score lead, I think we're in for another long one.
Yeah, it's the military advantage right now. You know, they've got double, if not triple, the military for Dave and the Dog. That forward castle's a real pain because it stops K1 from pushing on that side of his base. He is sending another raid forward, but Dave has spotted it, and this time... Oh, no, he hasn't. We know how much the last raid did, Stuart. I hope Dave has prepared a little bit better this time.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Meanwhile, obviously, Alpha Dog's got that castle up, which we knew would happen. It's going to be a bit annoying there for K1. Anyone coming around the back now? Is there an entry point round here that we can't see? Is that one there, Sula? I don't know.
It's just one of those things that you could convince me either way.
You could get a horse through there, can you? Surely, come on. He's going to take that wood line out there. I don't think Dave's going to see it until it's too late. The knights are through.
Oh no! Oh
I mean, Kate, when bring these knights around here, he could take all of these vills out.
Yeah, it's just, again, just putting the cavalry player back, and
That's it.
Dave's
Camel's
gonna have to
running
go
back.
home with everything. And this is not where you want to be. Yes, they are Arbalists. Yes, they're going to be really good at taking down the knights. But if those camels are in front as well, wow,
Check this
four
out,
castle from
Four
Amesy.
castle from Amesy then.
Wow.
All going on now. It's going to be interesting to see if any of these crossbowmen come back. Obviously with Alpha Dog up to him, the Treb's out. The Treb is on a warpath. Look at the range on that Treb setter. It's lovely to see when it looks like that. Dave down to, well, he's down to 63 Vils.
So K1's got 2 minutes until Imp. You can't help but feel he's going to have a massive advantage when he does hit to Imp. But right now, Ethiopian Obelisk is not something he can engage with, especially under the tower. He's basically just got to survive.
Just hold out as long as he can. Yeah, knights are cleared in Dave's base then. Looks like Dave's now, I assume, going to send these camels over to try and defend this push, perhaps. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
But only 65 villagers for Dave.
Yeah, 60 for Amesy. But it's still probably pretty balanced, Salah. It's probably still balanced. Let's see what the chat says then. So, Vicious Hatsuna, K1 should counter against Alpha Dog now. If K1 has the game sense to hit Alpha now, it would be fantastic. Oh. Let's see if he does it. I mean, he's raided Dave enough times, hasn't he? Satsuma.
Yeah, and
his castle goes down.
Alpha's doing a great job here, getting those walls up, meaning that the knights can't take a good fight. I think Eamsy's got to try and get involved somehow, just try and be a little bit more annoying. Remember, Alpha's base has only got 1 TC, so that can only store as many villagers as 1 TC can, which I think is 20 or 25. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if you can get a good cavalry raid in there, not all the villagers are going to be able to garrison in that TC, and you're going to get a load of villager kills. So Satsuma does have a really good point. However, obviously the base is looking pretty hemmed in for K1 right now. And you can understand why he feels like he needs to keep his army at home.
Amesy's got a camel in there, so look, we're going to... Camel's going to go and do some damage in that base. Let's try and keep the focus here for now, though. We'll keep switching back to here to see if he's successfully got some.
Only 2 trebs for Alpha Dog. He needed to get chemistry a bit earlier. The camels are coming in. Camels obviously great against knights, but not against the TC and a castle. And those knights are very soon going to be cavalier with the +4. Going to be coming in very soon, I suspect. Stuart, what's the Hindustani unique unit called again? I've completely forgotten.
Is it Gulam? Is the unique unit. Great unit, if I'm honest. Would certainly go through the R blasters with ease.
Yeah, I can't help but feel just a couple of those Gulams in Alpha's base could pay a lot of dividends right now.
Yeah. Third trap out then for the dog. Looks like the castle's going to go down. Certainly, look at K1 stone. He's going to run out of stone very, very shortly.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going over with on with Amesy then. Something tells me Amesy could be maybe on the go for hand cannoneers then. Obviously Hindustani's hand cannoneers get the +2 range, I believe. I mean, look at this. Look at how Alpha Dog is trying to wall K1 in his own base.
Yeah, K1's got the cavalier now, so he can take that fight against the camels, especially on the hill. I think Dave needs to be careful here, and Alpha needs to be using these arbalists a little bit more. They've been kind of sat dormant the entire game. Maybe try and get around the side or something like this.
In they come with the castle down now then. Here we go. This is going to be interesting. Surely this cav's going to be going over to here.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting as well, obviously Dave's eco not in the best position right now, but K1 needs to take the fight before Dave can get the heavy up. Get into him, get the heavy camel upgrade.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there's arbalists and heavy camels, it's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, defensive castle going down for Alpha Dog in his own base then. I don't think too much of a threat over there to worry about. I think everything's over here at the minute. They're really trying to destroy K1. Obviously, Team Whatever's 1-0 up, so pressure's on. Dave and the dog need this.
Yeah, they do. They've done a good job considering how far K1 was ahead in eco, 5-10 minutes ago. Maybe I think there's a fight going down. Yeah, it seems like a great fight for K1 to take if he can take out those camel numbers, but those Ethiopian arms are going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. Who's winning this, Stuart?
Well, I think you mean the game or this particular battle?
No, this particular fight.
In terms of this particular fight, I think if K1 micros it well, I think K1 can keep them at bay. I mean, the Trebs are slowly going to eat away at him, but look, he's got the beauty of expanding all into this, so it shouldn't be too much of a worry. If Amesy can get done what he needs to get done,
yeah,
I think they're still very much in it.
Yeah, for sure. And Dave's halfway to him now.
Still hasn't made use of these these walls though. Come on, Amesy, don't let me down with that. Got a nice castle going down there for Amesy to try and offer a bit more support for K1 and his base.
I can't help but feel that these knights are going to be going to Alpha's base, and Alpha's base is looking pretty open at the moment. And I think Satsuma is completely right. One raid into Alpha's base. What's Alpha got at home to protect his economy? Yes, he's got the one castle, but
he's got
all his
18
woodlines.
blasters. He's got 18 R blasters and 5 pikemen in his base, which could hold it off. But I just think K1's more concerned of losing these. Yeah, that's it. And as soon as he's out of range of his castle, he knows that he can engage, right?
Absolutely, yeah. But now he's getting Paladin. I don't think he's going to be taking fights anytime soon. Just feels like the game's entered a bit of a lull. No player is really wanting to commit and lose their army right now. Can't help but feel that Alpha should probably be adding a few more TCs. Don't want 70 bills and just one TC. If you lose them, it's going to be really hard to get up to a decent number again. Heavy camel in for Dave. K1 does need to be careful.
Looks like they might go for another push then with these Trebs moving about and the R-blasters moving. Trebbing down Amesy's forward castle now, and the R-blasters coming out. Looks like Amesy's going for Gulams. Although maybe not massing them up is not the best idea. I think Alpha Dog listened to you with your extra request for the extra TC.
Feels like a really close game, Stuart. I mean, the score is a bit ahead for Dave and the dog, but it seems too close to call right now. Skirmisher in for Eamesy. Not something you really want to see in team games, but it's understandable. Eamsy's not really doing any fighting against Dave right now, so it makes sense. Ideally, you want to be adding in Gulam. Obviously, Gulam doing a little bit better against the camels than a skirmisher would, for sure. But right now, not really having the cast production you need to get a decent number of them out. But third one coming down now, that is a very risky castle. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, one can only assume that he didn't see the...
This looks like it's going to be a big fight, Stuart. Paladin, 20 seconds. Do you think he's going to take it, or when he sees the heavy camel, do you think he's going to run away?
Well, I think he's going to wait until his Paladin comes in, and then he'll probably try and go for it, right? Or is he not? Because with the R-blasters behind, I think once he loses all these Paladin, it could be GG, Zula.
Yeah, I think for both teams as well, by the way. Whoever wins this fight, it just seems like it's kind of the end of the game. Heavy camo is going to be trading off well, but the numbers with the Paladin is absolutely overwhelming. Are some of those Paladins going to be able to get to those Ethiopian orbs? Looks like the camels and the orbs doing so much damage.
Yeah, I think it's just with those R-blasters behind the camels there. I think K1 did the right thing to micro a few of those paladins away around the back to go to the R-blasts.
Wow.
Looks like they're pulling back a little bit, but I don't know, Sulla. Something tells me that if they carried on fighting it, they might have done it.
Yeah, I think they're just coming back for the castle for the extra
Yeah.
damage, and I don't think K1 can fight here, especially with the gate. They need another sort of unit here, team whatever. Like, it's just not enough just to have paladins. It just means the Arbs are just going to have all the space in the world to keep fighting. I think K1 needs to pull back here. This just doesn't feel like a good fight for him right now.
Yeah, pullback is what he has done. Well, in the meantime, Alpha Dog is bringing over a nice little master bunch of R-blasters here. Looks like this castle's up for Amesy as well, which should help obviously take Alpha Dog off the gold again. K1 trying to lure Dave there to his tower. Nearly worked. Nearly had it.
I think right now, you might be thinking, well, why is he still doing paladins into camels? Obviously, it makes no sense. But I don't think humans really have another answer for this combination of units. They can go for kip checks. Doesn't have any... I don't think K1 has any other castles right now, but he certainly doesn't have enough to sustain production. And obviously the kip checks don't trade amazingly against the Arbalest. Alpha's still sitting on 70, is that 78 Vils? So not really ideal. Still in a position where you could get one good raid on him and do a lot of damage. I think Satsuma was right. It's something that they've certainly neglected this game, and it could come back to bite them, I think.
Castle down then that Amesy put up forward. Okay, looks like we've got some raids happening up at Dave's base then from Amesy. Probably a good play, I should imagine. When it's either that or help try and push this back here, but I think you'd probably be more valuable up here trying to raid, right, Villa?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Dave and Dog's army. You don't really want to engage it right now because they've got a really good combination of the heavy camel and the Arbalest. The one thing that K1 and Eamesy have right now is a mobility, and Eamesy's doing the right thing, putting that mobility to use, just trying to get a few units into the back of their ecos. The walls are coming down for Dave though. Actually, K1's called GG. Wow.
Oh,
I did not expect that.
Wow, okay. I mean, that's a plot twist. I mean,
I'm a
are you
bit
lost for words, Sulla?
I mean, in a way, I can see why, because the gold's gone, but it definitely didn't feel unwinnable. I mean, I don't know what you think, Stuart.
Well, I mean, you know, people say don't go off the score, but I mean, Dave and the Dog was up there on the score, right? But you know, the point I'd make is Amesy was very untouched. You know, started to try and raid a bit of Dave. I don't know. Maybe it's a time thing. Best of 5, right? More opportunities. It's 1-1. You know, now it's potentially just a case of they've just got to play a best of 3, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand, but I still can't feel like there were still ways to win that game. Maybe they just thought that Alpha's economy was better than it actually was. I mean, his base has just been wide open all game. And like you said, Eamesy was kind of getting into a position where he's got a decent number of vills, starting to get a decent army out. Yeah, it just feels like a really early GG, to be honest. But
quick GG. But look, let's not dwell on it. Let's move on. Dave and the Dogs pulled one back. It's 1-1. We'll take a 2-minute break. Go to the loo, grab a drink, and we'll be right back, Sulla. Are we ready, Sulla? Here we go. Game 3. Game 3 of the best of 5 2v2 Pangea Tourney grand final between Whatever and 2Boys1Cup, aka, as we all know, the legendary Dave and the Dog. Sulla, great first 2 games. Interesting first 2 games. I don't know about you, I still feel a little bit shocked after the second game there. I felt as though didn't feel like the GG was quite there just yet.
No, I mean, some people have raised a really good point, which I think we touched on a little bit, which is the advantage that knights have over camels and crossbows is that they're much better at raiding. And we just didn't really see enough of that. But the 2 times we did see it, Stuart, when K1 got his knights into Dave's base, they did so much damage. and really set Dave back. And perhaps if we just seen one or two of those on Alpha's base, that could have been a different game. But I agree with you. I was a bit shocked when they surrendered. Hey, we're going on, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens indeed then. 1-1. Let's kick it off. Let's get started then.
Sorry.
Wow. Are you laughing at the Civs? You're laughing at the Civs, aren't you? Yeah. Go, Simon. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so for those just joined in then, so this is the third game, okay? So it's the third game of this particular best of 5 series between Whatever and 2Boys1Cup. It's the grand final. £150 paid to the first place and £50 paid to the runner-up. Now how it works, there could potentially be 2 best of 5s, okay? And the reason being is because this whole Pangea tournament, 2v2 tourney, was done with a double elimination bracket. So basically what it means is every team that enters into this particular tournament has the chance to play twice should they lose one, okay? And Team Whatever obviously have not lost a game yet. So if Dave and the dog do beat them, it means they get a second chance to play. So whether that would get played straight after this one, I do not know. But of course we will find out. I'm sure we can get them in for a post-match interview after this one anyway, couldn't we, Sulla? So
absolutely.
All to play for still.
Right, Civs, Mr. Stewart, who do you prefer?
Well, I mean, I think Mongols and Goths are going to have it based on, watching Whatever play Mongols and Goths every time they play Arena, and every time they do it so well, right? So, I'm going to say them, but, I
think on paper it's quite even. I would say Mongols, decent Arena Civ, Franks, good Arena Civ, Berbers and Goths, generally not being that great. Obviously, Goths, if they get going, are great, but before that, they struggle a lot. Late game combination, generally what you like to see in arena games. They obviously go on a bit longer than the open maps. Paladin is obviously a great unit, and if you back them up with Cavalry Archers, it's gonna be hard to win. But the problem with Paladins is if you don't win that initial push, you need so much gold to sustain the production that sometimes you need to start adding trade, and it slows down. The thing with Goths is when they get that halberdier spam going, maybe adding in a few Huskarls for inevitably what we're going to see with the Camel Archers. They can do it pretty much all game. Now, one thing to note, we know K1 likes going Mangadai. Best units to counter Mangadai, well, definitely one of the best units to counter Mangadai is the Camel Archer. So I'll be interested to see what K1 does. Maybe needs to change up his game a little bit against those Camel Archers.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think Dave and Doug are strategic? I mean, they must have known, right, Sulla, that Team Whatever are going Mongols and Goths?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, recently, Mr. Stewart, we saw Franks being played against Goths, but maybe we just didn't see them used correctly. Now, one of the reasons why Franks can be really good against Goths is because of their unique unit, which is the Throwing Axeman, which is a really good anti-infantry unit. Unfortunately, last time we just didn't really see that unit. We didn't really see what it could do. I'll be interested to see if Dave is going to be adding in some Throwing Axemen instead of what you usually see with Franks, which is just Knights. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. All right, in the chat, Smiley, welcome in. There you go. Long-serving veteran of the Hermetica clan there. Go and check her out. Go and give her a follow as well. She's very new to streaming. I think, actually, she said if she gets to 100 followers, she will stream with her cam on. Which is good, because I know we're all dying to see Smiley's face on a stream. So go and give her a follow. There's lots of you in the chat, so that should help us get up there and hit that goal. But yeah, welcome in, Smiley. I hope you don't mind that. You're going to get a lot of followers now, so that'll good. That'll help. TG Thunder as well. Welcome in. Good to see you indeed. And Sasuma, thanks for the follow, of course. Following is free, guys, so feel free to smash that follow button. Stay up to date with all the latest that's going on. Like we said, we're going to do some Master Lord training streams real soon as well. Which I think Harry Boy Sam's going to be doing. So
quite looking forward to seeing some of those. I like his educational castings, shall we say.
Yeah, no, definitely. Harry's definitely one of the better players in the channel.
He's a good teacher. A good teacher, I think, is how
yeah,
I
definitely
could phrase it. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, resources in the base then. So I know we like to talk about this because this is quite key, isn't it? It looks like Dave's got quite a nice spot with his gold and his stone being quite far at the back there. Stone forward for the dog. Looking lovely for K1 back there.
Yeah.
And Amesy, I think, is the unfortunate one with everything forward. Yeah. Ow.
Yeah, Eamsy's base, I mean, not only does it look terrible from inside the base, but actually his stone placement is so susceptible to a forward castle as well. If Dave goes forward, gets a castle kind of on the side of Eamsy's base, not only can he take the stone, but I mean, he's going to be able to deny the gold potentially very quickly as well.
It's probably the perfect spot, Sula, right?
Could be horrible, but maybe they're just going to be focusing K1. Seemed to pay dividends last game, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're completely right about K1's base. I mean, gold off to the side, stone at the back, gold at the back as well. It was like the perfect base.
Yeah, definitely, and Alpha Dog with his 2 sets of gold there as well. So I think Amesy will kick himself when he realises that one, but. Yeah,
Dave has actually gone up to. He's actually gone up and gone for a really tight FC. Yeah, it's only 22 villages though, so I'll be interested to see what he does when he gets to Castle Age. It looks like he's going to be a castle drop, judging by all those villages going to stone. So it looks like they've kind of learned from all these games, Stuart. It looks like Eamsy is going to get a bit of a shock this game.
Yeah,
and like we said earlier, with that horrible base as well, it could be an absolute grim one actually.
Yeah. Okay, Dave has clicked up then. Doesn't look like Alpha Dog's going to be too far behind him. Just needs an extra 100 and gold and about 150 coming in terms of the food. Amesy's marking Alpha Dog's scout right outside K1's base, maybe preempting a castle drop there, although I don't think, obviously not near it yet, so let's see what happens then. K1's clicked up as well. It's a race. The race is on, Sulla.
Yeah. It's I don't think Alpha's going to go for a forward castle. I don't think it's necessary. He knows that in the late game with the camel archers, he will have a bit of advantage. K1 can add some other things in. Looks like they're going to force Alpha Dog scout away. K1 can add some things in with siege. Obviously, siege onager being really good against the camel archers. Even just siege ram can kind of do the job. They're not the easiest units to add in. Obviously, a lot of food, a lot of gold. It's they're both kind of late game options. And obviously, if Dave's knights or Dave's throwing axemen around, they're going to be able to deal with all that siege. However, Dave is going to go for a forward castle. He is going to have a bit of a rough economy. Has he got loom, Stuart? Because we know what happened last time with this. He hasn't got loom.
Oh, is he going to click it? He's clicked it. He's clicked it. He's going to have loom. He's going to have loom. We are saved. That is good. It's not going to be. It's not going to be too deadly for him there. That could have been interesting. Here we go. Then he's going for the castle drop. He's clearly going for K1, judging by the positioning of those villagers. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about this though, does he? Again, this is the benefit of casting it and seeing everything. Yeah. You can just see it. You can sometimes call it before, or sometimes you're shouting at the screen. No, go the other way. Where's he going to put it down is the question. I mean, here I suppose would be quite nice to kind of try and take this away from K1. Everyone up to castle now. Amesy 2 minutes until going up to castle.
I think they need to scout that castle, because if the castle's going to go down there, yes, it's going to make a hole in the base, but K1 can easily wall up the sides here, and it kind of becomes a bit redundant.
Yeah.
Okay. However, securing the forward golden stone is nice, but it's not like super essential at this point in the game.
I think he wants to scout it first. I think you're right. Co's decided to put it there instead. I mean, it's better here, isn't it? We both agree there.
Yeah, for sure. I think by the time this comes up, I don't really know what they hope to achieve here. I mean, especially with the throwing Axeman, great against Goths, but it's only going to take a few Mangadai to just push them back.
Okay, K1's already got the... I'm getting deja vu so bad, Silla, it's unbelievable.
Feels like every game with whatever is just a deja vu experience, to be honest.
That's it. That's it. So he's choosing to wall up that side as quick as he can.
I think another thing to bear in mind is K1's the only player that's got 2 TCs right now, which is absolutely ridiculous for Arena. I think Alpha's made the mistake of not having a good enough economy to get a castle and extra TCs. I mean, it just feels like such a weird strategy.
Okay, well, you're right with the Camel Archers coming out from Alpha Dog, then garrisoning straight into Dave's castle.
He's actually doing petard straight away, Stuart. So they truly are going all in. And Dave is still mining stone, 402 stone. So they are quite literally going all in on K1. And I guess Eamsy's going to be playing Farm Simulator for the next 15 minutes. So that's
I think Aimsy was talking to K1 through pings there to ask where he should put his TC, I think. But I'm not sure. He's chosen to go at the back there. Have a little look. So Satsuma jumping in again. K1, the only player to add a TC. Yep. I think Dave will try to drop a second castle on him. Maybe inside this wall here then.
If you can take it off to the right a little bit, he can deny that forward gold, which could be pretty brutal. But he just needs to be very careful with his villagers.
Yeah.
I think that petard was a bit unnecessary, but it speeds things up. There you go.
He's going for more, that's for sure.
And I
There's
think
another
Dave's...
couple in the queue. Still no second TC from Dave or Alpha Dog.
No. Dave, come on.
Let's see, does he do it? Does he go left or right? Where's he choosing to go? He's going right, that's it. He's going to scout it. He's scout first. Hopefully those villagers don't get taken out on the way past. Oh, he's lost one. Is he going to lose two? No, I think he's just lost the one there.
And the castle will come up. How's K1 going to react to this? Has he got some Mangadai?
Is that the right place sort of there? Or
I think he needed it a bit more off to the side. Yeah, it needs to be more off to the side.
Yeah, okay.
Because the thing is here, and Satsuma raises a good point, is that even though K1's getting all this kind of damage on him right now, he's still ahead on Vils. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was first to Imp. Anyway, he's going to go for the Vils. And those Vils do have Loom, and the Camel Archers are there, so he'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you saw there, but Alpha Dog's getting his second TC down with Aimsy going on to his third onto the forward gold there.
Yeah.
What are we going to expect to see from Aimsy, do you think? A castle drop on Dave? Reinforcements for K1?
You got to consider right now that Dave's base is obviously not ideal, not the best. All these villagers forward, and obviously a huge investment.
39 Vils as well. Yeah, quite behind on Vils in terms of everybody.
K1's going to go for a castle up on the left here. In all honesty, he hasn't really got many good places he can put it. Maybe he could have put it where his market is now to secure his gold, but potentially if Dave just gets the range upgrades for his castle, he can just range it anyway. But maybe he just wants the extra trebs. Actually, K1 only just getting looms, so he's been playing a very dangerous game.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Have to write that down for the interview, that one.
3 petards for Dave right now. I wonder where they're going to go.
3 petards? You mean 9 petards?
Oh my God.
Is he going to try and take the castle down with 9 petards?
This is a really good play by K1. He's managed to take out a few, but probably not enough.
Oh, he's taking it down. The castle's down for K1 there.
Wow.
That's unbelievable play from Dave with his petards.
K1 is going to lose a lot here, but Castle isn't really in the greatest position now. That stone wall needs to come down.
Yeah, he's blocked
Is
his
Alpha
stone,
going to
he's off
spot
his
it? He's going to
gold.
stop it now. There's a one-tile gap there. Oh, he's just going to get it up, I think. He'll lose a few vills, but it was worth it. Wow, K1 is in a real tough spot here. And if we see a forward castle, maybe where some of those farms are, it could be really, really bad for K1. He actually doesn't have any access to gold now, Stuart.
Wow, and he's got nowhere to run as well. He's completely trapped in there with this. It could be a defeat for K1 if he's not careful. I'm not sure if he's moved anywhere else. I don't know if he's got on Garrison. I don't know if it's worth him trying to see if he can make a great escape. In the meantime, then Amesy's got a defensive castle in his base just to try and prevent, I should imagine, Dave from dropping one. Although I don't think that's high on Dave's priority list at the moment. Sulla, do you think?
No, I think they either just finish off K1 here, get a forward castle.
He's another 9 petards ready to go. Look at these boys, look. Fantastic units. Look at them, look. All ready to go, holding their barrels of beer.
That's what they are.
Yeah,
Beer.
it's all it is. It's beer. It's beer, really. That's what it is. That's it. That's it. What a game so far, then. For those that have just jumped in, 2v2 Pangea Tourney. It's the grand final, best of 5. We've played 2 so far. 1-1 between Whatever and 2Boys1Cup. Great action so far. Do hit the follow so that you know when we're next live with other matches, master classes, training sessions, in-house team games, and of course, if you do want to be a part of Hermetica, feel free to jump in on Discord.
Sure, sorry to cut you off. It's just
Links in the
absolute
chat.
scenes going on right here. But walls coming down. Oh, I'm gonna go up. I've never seen anything like this. The gate coming down. Wow, that's so clutch.
Blocking the petards. I think it was a great move, but it looks like the castle's going to go down. We know what sort of damage they do.
Oh,
Last one. Oh, he took it down, Sulla. The last one.
Oh, man.
He's took it down. He's taken down his only castle defence there for K1.
So
And they're going for the TC with petards as well. What an unbelievable strategy this is. Has anyone seen it? Let us know in the chat. Have you seen a petard strategy before? Unbelievable. It's all going on. Amesy dropping a castle on Dave there.
The
Wow.
only good thing about this is Dave has absolutely nothing at home. He's got 1 TC and that's it. If Amesy gets a decent number of pretty much any infantry unit other than pikemen, he can take this down. A few Huskars here could be absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
for,
I think he heard you as well,
Dave.
the way he slapped all those farms down there in a quick succession.
So Eamsy's got 84 villagers, which is 14 more than Alpha. Obviously, K1 is kind of out of the game right now.
Yeah,
I don't
45
really see,
more than K1, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see any way of K1 getting back in the game right now. 0 access to gold, 1 TC. It's I think rough, a bit of an understatement.
Dave is committing to these petards. I mean, they're blatantly going to be going in for this this TC. Although I think K1 might know it, and he's looking to wall it up with units. Let's see what's going on down here then. Looks like Alpha Dog's putting a defensive castle into Dave's base for him. I mean, they've really got to hold. They've got to hold off this push, surely, right, Sulla? You know, they've done such great work to getting K1 out of the game. You know, for Dave to go down to Amesy coming in here with the Huskaris would be sad to see. Sorry.
This is a great raid for Eamsy, but I think right now he just needs to focus on getting, 120, 130 vills and get that production going. Although, trust me, having Huskars running around your base is incredibly annoying. And right now, Dave doesn't really have anything to defend against it. I don't know if you noticed earlier, Eamsy actually sent a lot of stone to K1 so he could get a castle up. But I'm just
Here we go, Sulla. Here
all
we
these
go.
petards
Here we
coming
go.
over again. Oh, no.
This is it. Here we go. You have front row seats, ladies and gentlemen. Is it enough? Has he found the sweet number? Is 8 petards enough to take down the castle?
No, he'll have to go back.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Let's see how we're getting on down in Dave's base then with the raid from Amesy. looking to just take as many vills as he can, right?
I honestly don't know how, but K1 is going to Imperial Age. What a mental game.
Yeah.
He is going to get Elite Skirm, which is actually not that bad against what the other team have got now. Dave is just... I don't think he knows there's other units that he can make other than petards.
Yeah, it's 13 petards now. I think as long as they can keep K1 from making castles, they're pretty safe. But, I mean, look at this walling off now. I think if that was going to go, they should have gone, right?
Absolutely. He's going to be able to wall that casting. And actually, Alpha's going to have to send his army over here because... but I can't help but feel Imsy needs to be clicking to Imperial Age soon. He needs to get some Trebs out. Dave is obviously a million miles away from Imperial right now. Doesn't look like he's going to get there anytime soon. A couple of Trebs and a couple of Huskars from Imsy right now is gonna kill absolutely everything that Dave has. I'll be really interested to see what K1 can do being an Imperial quicker than everyone else. Obviously, his eco is kind of terrible right now.
He did what you said, Sulla. He did what you said. He's gone for throwing Axeman. It seems to be working against the Huskars. I mean, all right, they're not paying any attention to it, but it's just showing you what they can do in terms of the hit points there. Pretty strong. Okay, 14 petards now. Let's see if he wants to have another go. I mean, he needs to get rid of this wall. Has he seen this wall? He probably hasn't, has he? He's going to go back here and see a barricade in the way.
Is there a hole between the stone wall and the
that little bit there could be, and I think K1 might have seen it with his villager going to fix it. Let's see.
It was already. Yeah, the Skirms are there. I mean, but they can't do anything against that many camel archers. I think there is a hole there.
It's gone through.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah. There needs to be another wall.
Okay, so there was 9. Can he get more than 9 over to the castle? Let's have a little look. 13 petards left. Oh, just 9 left now. Does the castle go down? Oh, he needed maybe another 1 or 2 there. Look, so this is not about you, but I'm having a fun time right now watching this. This is fantastic, fantastic play. Okay.
Wow. So Ballistic's now coming in for Alpha. That's going to help him massively.
Ames's clicked up as well, Sulla.
Yep, and Imsy is now in kind of driving position here. He's got... I mean, Goths are actually a really good pick against Berbers. They've got kind of all the tools they need. However, if Dave can get a decent economy, which doesn't really look like he has now, the amount of gold that Dave has is absolutely absurd. Obviously, he's trying to do all these petard production. Anarchy coming in for Mr. Eamsy. That means you're going to be able to produce those Huskars from your barracks. That's a really important tech for the Goths to get. If we can get that production going, I think Eamsy can be the star man.
Be the star of the show. That's right. K1 had a Treb out then, looking to try and take down one of the castles from Dave. Dave brings in the throwing axeman. Finally, the second TC for Dave then. Sulla, we're seeing at 35 minutes here on Arena.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a clown game, I think, is an understatement. We are seeing Dave and the Dog do the right thing here. K1's not in a great position. He can't really make any units other than skirms right now. The gold income hasn't really started K1 yet. Only 13 on gold. They're doing the right thing, switching to Eamsy, getting that forward castle down. And Eamsy just needs to be aware that he needs to get a decent army out. I'm just looking right now. Not really the amount of army you would want to see from Eamsy right now. 17 in the queue, which is nice. But he needs to be getting the perfusion tech. If you guys don't know what perfusion is, basically doubles the work rate of your barracks, which are already faster because you are the Goths. So when we see that coming in and see those Huskars coming out, it's going to be pretty hard for Alpha to defend with just archer units.
Yeah, look what's going on in K1's base as well. Obviously, with all the pressure taken off of him, he's been able to expand a little bit, getting a second TC back up. Where are these villagers off to, Sulla? Are we going to see a TC here, or are we going to see a castle drop? I mean, he's got the... Oh, he hasn't got the stone, has he? Maybe a TC outside.
They've spotted them, though. I think that scout spotted them, and those camel archers are coming over now. Maybe K1's trying to get in. Oh, I'm just seeing Eamsy's open his base. They need to shut that right now. Otherwise, they're going to have some problems. What obviously K1's trying to get in and maybe get some stone or some gold, something like this.
In the meantime, Amesy's got a problem of his own down here, of course, with the castle looking like it's about to go with one treb. Alpha Dog trying to put a castle down there. Really trying to keep him in his base. Quick wall comes up from K1. Lets the scout in. Does the camel archers get in? Yes, they do. They just got through there. It's going to be a little bit of an issue with of course, no units at the back to help defend these camel archers off.
Yeah, just a few Huskars would clean this up. And actually, Alpha's just running under the castle, which you love to see.
And I mean, you do it, right? You do it. I mean, if he's going to try and keep this little bit open here, and Alpha Dog can get these camel archers in, you could argue it's GG, Sulla.
Well, yeah, but Emsy just needs to send a few Huskars over and they'll clean it up. Perfusion going to be in a few seconds. He only needs a few barracks in his base, and he can push this back really easily.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Just welcome in Loki to the chat, dude. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Long time no see. Thanks for jumping in. Pearl in there. Petards in Rams would be nice.
And K1's actually doing a bit of pressure here. But fun fact, guys, you might think skirmishers would be good against throwing axemen because they're quote-unquote a range unit, but actually the skirmishers' bonus damage only applies against archers. So beware.
Lots of action going on at the moment, Scylla. At all ends of the map.
Yeah, and this is the problem when you get Elite Huskar. You just... Yes, you got some castles, but the damage is just not being dealt to them. Remember that Elite Huskars get 8 pierce armor, and then obviously +2 means 10 pierce armor in total, means they're just so good against the range units. Yeah. And we're just seeing them cause absolute destruction right now. Although I would like to see them head down to the south of Dave's base. Dave's base obviously still looking a bit atrocious, to say the least. Only 9 on food, 6 on gold. Alpha's floating so much res, I can't help but maybe he should be sending Dave a little bit to
try and help him out. And look, ladies and gentlemen, just to see here, if you want to know how, if you're pretty much wiped out, and let's be honest, K1 was pretty much wiped out earlier. This is how you boom back. Look, 1 TC over here, 1 TC in the back of Amesy's base, and then 2 TCs over to the side here as well. We are going to watch him come back, right, with a vengeance. I don't think he wants to lose this match.
No, definitely not. But Alpha is pushing forward with bombards, and I think that base is going to go down pretty sharpish.
Okay, so it looks like they've closed the gap off, or they haven't, and they've just left it there.
Likes to live dangerously, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Amesy's certainly keeping the pressure on Dave with another Treb coming back on the attack. 2, in fact, with a load of Huskaris. This is going to damage him, so I think this is. I think Dave's in trouble. At sending Vils out.
To be honest, I think Dave's dead. There's nothing that Alpha can do right here to protect him. I mean, there's so many Huskars in the base. I mean, he can literally just walk under that castle and kill it. Now, what Alpha needs to be doing now is adding another unit type. The Camel Archers are just not going to cut it against these Huskars. Couple of things Berbers can do. They do get fully upgraded champions, only missing supplies. But really, champions is not what you need when the Goths are just getting them so much cheaper. One thing they can go for is hand cannon. I think that would probably be the play right now until K1 can maybe get in the game with something. But look at this absolute massacre on the west of the base. All these villagers getting hunted down by the Huskars. Who do you think's favourite right now, Stuart?
Alpha Dog's only just bringing bloodlines in. Should have thought that should have been in a lot earlier than that. I think if you had asked me 10 minutes ago, Scylla, I'd have said it was Dave and the Dogs game. Just from that epic start play. But you know, with the amount of drops that K1's put down on TCs, it looks like he's going to really pull back. But then look at Dave doing exactly the same thing over here.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected this a few minutes ago, but Dave's actually down to 22 villagers. I imagine he's going to be losing more. And those Huskars just taking great engagements against the Caval Archers. And K1's actually somehow got up to, is that 56 villagers? I mean,
60 vils now, yeah.
Wow.
60 vils with 5 in the queue. Amesy's on 99 vils. Alpha Dog in the lead with 115 and Dave just on 20.
Wow. It'll be interesting what K1 goes for. It's just teched into Crossbowman. You might be thinking, why in the world would a Mongrel player be going for crossbows? Now the reason is because they won't take bonus damage from the Camel Archers. And it's actually surprising that K1's still got his base. I thought that would have been gone long ago.
Wow, this is it. He's certainly taking it. I mean, look at Dave's base completely wiped off the map there. Amesy just making his way around with these Huskaris. I think he's going to probably put quite a bit of pressure on Alpha Dog. I think the tables have tipped, mate. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. And Alpha's tech into Hussar. It's just not going to cut it. They're not going to be trading well enough against all the infantry that Amesy can tech into. Champions trade against them great. Halberdier even better. He needs to be adding in something completely different. Otherwise, he's going to have a real tough time. And it looks like he might catch some of these TCs as well if he's going to miss them. But actually, I don't know if you've seen, Stuart, those Huskars are going to be heading up, going to be taking down that bombard cannon. That's actually going to save a big part of K1's base. Arbalest in for K1 now. Seems like a good play against what Alpha has. And K1's actually back up to 73 Vils. So give it a few minutes. I think K1's going to be back in this game.
Yeah, that's it. Dave idling some of his Vils now. I don't think he's looking too good for these guys. I think Smiley's called it right there. Don't let Amesy boom. Amesy's carrying with the Goth. Incredible. Teamwork, guys. This is what it's all about.
Makes the dream work.
That's it. Recognising that you might get defeated a bit early, bringing the Vils over, slapping down extra TCs.
Yeah, it's looking really rough right now. I'm just looking at the gold income. I mean, Alpha's been sitting on so much gold for all game. He needs to be using it. Teching into champions might be a good start. Getting some hand cannons out, but right now is one thing about Arena you guys might not be considering, but space in Arena is so crucial. And right now, whatever have all the map control with these Huskars just running around. And once you don't have room in your base, it's really hard to get sufficient military buildings up. So we're just not really seeing the amount of military buildings. Alpha needs to push this back. And Stuart, do you feel like when these Arbalists start turning up from K1, it's gonna be pretty much impossible for the other team to get back in it?
Yeah, I think Vicious Satsuma's just quite rightly pointed out in the chat there. Alpha with 7k res floating and 125 pop. It hurts to see.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
You know, like you were saying earlier, whether he should be trading that with Dave to help Dave or using it. I think this is these things with these early all-in strats, right? If they don't pay off right at the start, you're on the back foot a little bit, and I think they handled the back foot well. I really do, but.
Glad to see Imsy killing the farms in Dave's base, just to make sure,
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Surprised he hasn't moved in there, Silla.
Evicting someone and then moving in.
That's it. I mean, look at this for Dave. They're trying to get the castle up here, but just two Huskaris doing the damage and letting all of the Vils go there. And Dave got a couple of 3 Vils here idle as well. It just, I'm not sure where he's focusing attention. Look at this as well, coming over now from Team Whatever. Yeah, I think we're going to see the GG surely.
Another thing as well is Alpha's making Hussar, but he's got 3k gold banked up. I just don't understand. Of all the units to go for, I would not be going for Hussar right now. Maybe he's going to try and get a raid in, but I suspect Eamsy's base is just completely closed off. And now we're seeing these Arbalists. Yes, they're not the best Arbalists in the world. They're not getting that final armor upgrade, but they're going to be doing a hell of a lot more than what Dave can contribute right now. Hussars are going to pick up those trebs. I think he's trying to keep it up because of all that gold that he's being able to take. But right now, Alpha needs to be focusing on different things. He's got 3k gold. He really doesn't need to be investing all this in just keeping this gold alive. It just feels like a losing fight, to be honest. Stuart, do you think they might have over-invested a little bit in killing K1? I mean, as fun as it was to watch, don't get me wrong.
It was very entertaining to watch. Can't say nonetheless about that, mate. They've put on a fantastic show for us in Game 3. Especially after the first 2 games, right? I mean, I wasn't expecting it at all. I was kind of expecting all 4 players to get their heads down and boom, and it'd be a real late game battle. But yeah, well, it's just a tough one, isn't it?
Do you think again, Alpha and Dave kind of feel like they've maybe kind of lost this game from a pole position, or do you think maybe because they just went for such a crazy strategy that it kind of gave the unfair view that they were in a better position than they actually were? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I think I think maybe a bit of focus on Amesy when they realised that they was pushing K1 back. Maybe they didn't get over to Amesy quick enough after doing that. That could be. It could be what was to say that was the difference there. What do you guys in the chat think? Let us know. Let us know, what do you guys think went wrong? What could have been a turning point in the game? Anyone's still not got this TC up. I've been keeping an eye on that. I've been waiting to see it go up, but it hasn't yet.
So now Alpha's going into Elite Camel Archer. I don't really know why. I'm gonna try and think why though. But right now against Obelisk and Huskal, it doesn't seem like a good unit to pick up.
Yeah.
Still no hand cannon. Still no champion. Eamesy does need to be careful here because Alpha does have a really nice surround on those Obelisks. He is going to pick them up. Just feels like Eamesy and K1 aren't really doing what they need to be doing right now.
Wrapping the game up.
Yeah, just the siege has just gone down, hasn't really been protected. I mean, one advantage they do have is Alpha, even though he's been sitting on all that gold all game, he will run out of gold sooner rather than later. They are going to pick up all these Hussars now. I'd just like to see maybe a couple of bombard cannons, a couple of trebs, start pushing down these castles. We can get the GG called.
Okay, is that K1 taking into the ram there, isn't he?
Yeah, and Halb as well, which is perfect to protect
Ramsey.
them.
Yeah, that's it.
Remember, Mongols get the not only do they get siege ram, but they also get drill, so their rams move quite a lot quicker. Especially when you fill them up with some Goth infantry as well, they're going to be like Fast and the Furious rams. Be very, very nice.
Fast and the Furious rams. Not heard that one before.
Champion coming in for Eamesy as well, so he's going to have all 3 infantry options. Love to see it as a Goth player. Looks like Dave is doing his absolute best to get back into this game, despite kind of being bullied all game. Back up to 45 villagers. It's hard to see him getting to any kind of massive infantry, especially because gold is kind of a luxury now. Alpha's Camel Archers just not really being the right unit here to deal with this composition of Halb and Huskals. The reason why it's such a good combo is because you get the Halb to deal with the cavalry, Huskal can deal with the archers, and obviously if you can mix them in, it's really difficult for the range units to individually pick off the Halbs. So it can be a really nice combination, especially against Civ like Berbers. So Stuart, just looking back at the tournament, what were some of your favourite moments from the tournament so far?
Oh, my favourite moments.
Yeah.
apart from casting loads of them,
Of course.
I think it's got to be whatever's Mongol Goth combinational arena.
Yeah.
You know, and,
No, I agree.
and I mean, if Dave and Dog had beat it, you know, through the strat they had, it would I think it would have just topped it off. If I'm completely honest.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like every arena game that whatever we've played have just been so entertaining, but I think this one is taking the cake. Seeing 13 what are they called? Saboteurs? Petards. 13 petards. I'm not sure I've ever seen 13 petards before. It's a first for me.
Certainly enjoyable to watch. That's for sure. I wonder if we're going to see that anymore in any in-house games. I think that might be a theme for some people now. Dave and the Dog have set something off. Set off a new trend.
I think there's been a few trendsetters in this tournament, especially on Arena. It's been definitely one of the more enjoyable maps to watch in this tournament for sure. You know what? Credit where credit's due, though. Alpha's done an insane job holding both of these players for such a long time, and I just really hope he gets some help from Dave soon. It just doesn't look like Dave's ever going to be in a position to kind of get any significant military up.
Well, out come the Rams now in full force. Spamming them, I see. 7 already on the field, 9 on the field now. Check this out, Aimsy with 44 Huskaris, 60 of them in the queue.
Yeah. I think if they can get some halbs forward here to protect those siege rams, I think this can be the push that finishes it off. But I think the only criticism I have of Eamsy right now is that his barracks are very, very far away from Alpha's base. It would be nice to see a couple of barracks forward. Remember, with the Goths, you don't really need that many with the extra production speed.
Yeah.
Alpha's still got 2k gold in the bank, so
a couple of villagers coming forward from Aimsy, so I don't know if he's heard you there, mate. If he sees some barracks pop down.
And Stuart, I think a few people have noted in the chat over when we've been streaming about maybe some of the disparities in the elo, and people saying like, oh, you know, it's unfair that high elo people have been playing against people, you know, much lower than them. Do you think the balance has been done well in this tournament? Do you think it's kind of worked out okay?
Well, I think from the seed point of view, yeah, I think it's worked perfectly.
Well, I think this game kind of proves it, right? You've got one team with a higher elo player and a lower elo player, and then another team with two equally ranked people.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
yeah. But I mean, that's how it works, right? And I think shout out to Loki for that, setting all that up. I think he's the one that done all of the seeds and the seed rounds. Yeah,
definitely one of the best spreadsheets I've seen, actually.
Yeah,
Loki with that Age of Empires spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's it. Tiwilola. I do apologise there for my pronunciation of that one, but yeah, you're right. No one picked up the relics. No one picked up the relics in this match. Would have made a big difference, Sulla, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think at this point in the game as well, when Dave and K1 are really, really struggling for gold, I think a couple of relics can make a huge difference. But don't get me wrong, K1 really hasn't been in a position to take them, and neither is Dave either. So I don't want to be too harsh.
Yeah, that's it. Well, the push is coming on strong now, Sulla. I think I feel a GG coming in. We'll see what happens. Maybe they're seeing if this castle goes down or not first. Dave just not quite back in the game. Making some knights though.
Yeah, I think
still
this
stuck
is
in castle.
Yeah, the advantage that the Goths have right here is that their infantry can just take down buildings so quickly, getting that extra 3 damage against buildings, and the Huskars can just take take great engagements against these camel archers. And I think you're right, Stuart. I think when this castle goes down, it's going to be really hard for the other team to, well, impossible, I'll say it, for the other team to get back in it.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a flood of blue and yellow coming into the map, coming over from the other side. Next poll up then, was the Pangea Tourney balanced? So we want you, those of you in the chat, use your channel points, have some fun. Let us know what you think. Was it balanced, in your opinion? Castle's down, Silla.
Yeah, and what I talked about earlier with the space is just getting less and less and less. Dave's getting another castle up, but realistically, no offense to Dave, they're not really going to be going for his base right now. And when that castle at the front of Alpha Dog's base goes forward, it doesn't really seem like there's anything standing in their way. Like I said before, it would be nice for a bit more siege to be forward, but I'm sure they'll be adding some stuff very, very shortly. Don't you hate to see it, Stuart, when you just see one unit open up the gate and then a million rush through?
Yeah, it always happens, doesn't it? It always happens, and sometimes you find it. In fact, I think that was a point in the series, wasn't it? I think it was whatever versus these. I think it was this game, wasn't it? These guys on Arena. Do you remember? Amesy kept the gate open.
Yeah, he had one Huskar just attacking the gate, didn't he? And then K1 came over with some mega time. It was a brilliant play. Yeah, you're right. We've seen some great stuff with these two. It's very valiant defense from Alpha, and he's done a great job to keep them back for this long, but it just feels so impossible for him right now.
That's it.
I think the only criticism, I think Satsuma raised it earlier, was obviously hoarding the resources wasn't ideal, but I don't think Berbers were chosen deliberately to counter Mongols, and I understand that pick, but they knew they were going Goths as well. They always knew that if the Huskars got out in good numbers, they were always going to be good against the Camel Archers. And someone mentioned it earlier. There was no pressure on EMZ the entire game, and you know we've seen multiple times why that can be such a big mistake.
Okay, another castle down then. The one up here is down, sorry, Alpha Dog put up quite earlier on. Massive score lead now for Team Whatever. 3,300 in front. Just as we go over the hour mark on this arena game.
Oh, I've just noticed Alpha has only just started picking up the armor as well, which is a really big mistake. Sometimes you got so much going on there, you just don't notice little small things like this, but they can make such a big difference. I think these siege rams here is more than enough to take down this castle, especially with the Huskars just behind. And shit, I think we're going to see the GG very, very soon. And yet another win for Whatever on Arena.
Yeah, that's it. I think they're undefeated, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is funny because K1 absolutely hates Arena.
Yeah,
but
that's it. And I wonder how he feels about getting annihilated by the petards at the end there. At the start.
For sure.
I look forward to asking him that one.
Just seeing Dave's position, still only 58 fills. Can't really do knights. Just no gold. But we can thank Dave for a very entertaining game. That is for sure.
It looks like Alpha Dog's found some trade between K1 and Amesy there. GG's called from Alpha Dog, Sulla.
Yeah.
GG's down. Sorry, Alpha Dog's down. Just Dave to go. I don't think he's gonna be long behind him. He's not. He's called the GG. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2-1. 2-1 team whatever. Another great game.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to give K1 credit. The guy somehow survived. And I think a lot of people would have just given up in his position.
Yeah.
But
100%.
He did it.
Yeah.
But,
and look at that mini-map. Look at the saturation of blue in it as well, you know. I think he's come back from that. Testament to being a high elo player, right? Look at that there. Most created. 359 Haskaris, Amesy. Created. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Very unbelievable. Right, Sulla, let's take a break. We're going to have 3 or 4 minutes on this one. I do need the loo. I am going to put the kettle on, alright? I suggest everybody else does the same. Because we are going into game number 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sulla, but if whatever take the next game, it's theirs, right?
Yes, it is. But it will be the other team's map. So I think they're going to have something planned. They seem to have something planned for every map, including a map that wasn't even theirs arena. Yeah. So it's going to be a hard fight for sure.
Yeah, crazy. Well, look, stick around. It's going to be good to see. Everybody be right back. We'll put some more mixes on so you can all party and dance in your living rooms. And we look forward to catching you right back here very, very shortly. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
I think this is a really weird map, Stuart, and I think I would be amazed if Dave and the dog don't have a really funky strategy for this map. And let's be honest, it's not something that K1 and Eamsy are going to be played before. So
What map
I
is
think
it,
there's
Sir? Tell us.
Mangrove Jungle.
Mangrove Jungle. Should we have a look? Should we have a look? Let's get it started. Let's have a look.
Okay,
Let's see. Let's see where we are with things so far. Then. Wow! What a map! Look at this.
Crazy, isn't it? So just looking now, you start off relatively normal start. So you got some buffalo, so you got a bit more food than usual from that. Your 2 rhinos and then 4 deer. So that's your base. Pretty standard. But if you just look at the map, there's gold all over the place and stone all over the place. The thing is, though, a lot of the stone, a lot of the gold is completely isolated behind the trees. So in order to get to that, you need an onager or a treb or a ballista elephant, whatever you've got to cut down trees. It's not something you're going to have access to until probably the Imperial Age. Another thing as well is that all this area is going to be accessible by boats. So you're going to be seeing some potentially very weird matchups of land units and
water units
fire
as
ships
well.
and stuff
okay,
like that.
So then talk about the civs then. So who's gone? I mean, like Aimsy Dravidians, they're quite a naval civilization, right?
Yeah, exactly. Infantry and naval civilization, getting some pretty crazy infantry. Remember, they get 50% off their barracks tax, which means they get all the man-at-arms and longswordmen and stuff like that, 50% off. They also get a really good upgrade called Wood Steel, which means all their infantry ignores armor. Absolutely ridiculous tech. They also get 200 wood when they advance to the next age, which is insanely helpful, especially when you get up to feudal. Not just for your extra archery range or blacksmith, but also for getting some ships out as well. Also, you've got K1 with the Saracens. Just a generally strong civ, can do a bit of everything, can do cavalry, can do archers, and remember, they do get faster firing galleys as well. So certainly a very strong naval civ. Going over to the other team, Portuguese, one of the best civs in the game right now. Definitely one of the best hybrid civs as well. Their ship's getting 10% more HP, which I hope I'm right on this time, Mr. Stewart. And also getting that berries bonus. However, that's not actually going to apply this game because there's no berries on this map. So not sure if they knew about that. But Portuguese still very strong in spite of having no berries. And Dave's gone with the Koreans. So 2 archer civs on the same map, which is quite interesting. So maybe it is going to be primarily ships. And the Koreans getting the wood bonus as well, which can be very helpful because, as you can see, the wood lines, although plentiful, are kind of hard to wall off. So let's bear that in mind for potentially early raids because the walls are very hard to get up on this map. Stuart, which civs do you prefer?
For me, I think Dravidians is what I would prefer, and that's only because I've played them a couple of times. Would you believe? Yes, I think Dravidians is what I would go for. Yeah, a little bit of water, a little bit of naval, in there as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously Portuguese. Is it Portuguese where you earn gold from? It's food, isn't it? Is it gold from food with Portuguese? Is that right?
That's another civ. But the Portuguese can do one thing, which is the Fatoria. I don't know if you've seen it before, but it's a big building. They get an Imperial Age. So it costs quite a lot of resources, and it does take up pop space, but it does give you a trickle of all the resources at once, and you can have more than one of them as well. So if you are really, really far behind, you can get the Fatoria out, and it can get you back into the game. Just seeing the dot going up now from Alpha, so remember, guys, there's no fish on this map, so it's purely just an offensive battle with the dogs. K1 actually attacking him with a
quick roll in from Alpha Dog there. Look at that.
Wow.
Fantastic Alpha Dogs. What we like to see.
Yeah, definitely. Scout battle going on, but K1 has taken a few hits from the villager, so he's going to have to go back there. That was a really nice quick wall, Stuart. You never really see that at that low level as well, so it's great to see.
Okay, Jester, thank you for pointing me out there. It's wood from berry is what you get. You get wood from berries. Sorry, not gold. Don't know what I was thinking of there.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, but no berries on this map, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
So Doc coming up. K1 needs to be careful to not lose a scout here. He is going to want the feudal advantage when a scout gets a bit more stronger. Just looking at the civs, Saracens and Portuguese, you probably prefer the Portuguese and the feudal with their slightly better fire ships. We'll see what happens. I wonder, do you think Dave's going to go all the way around to help Alpha, or do you think he's going to focus on EMZ this time?
I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, they've both focused on K1 at the start, right? I'm just trying to think. Did they both focus on K1 when they won the game? They did, didn't they, as well? So, you know, they've won a game. They've won a few games from doing that. So, I think going straight to K1 could be the answer.
K1's actually picked up that scout from Alpha as well, which is really, really important in the north.
I like this. 2 docks here to help wall off. Not being able to get through now, I assume.
Yep. No other walls from the other players yet. So potentially there's going to be an open fight in the south. 2 galleys coming forward for K1. 3 galleys in the queue for the Portuguese player. Pretty surprised he hasn't gone from the fire ships. Were you expecting fire ships from the Portuguese? I assumed that's what he would have gone for, Stuart.
Well, I mean, I suppose, you know, they're both great minds, right? Great minds think alike.
Very true.
You know, why didn't K1 go for fire ships?
Well, the reason he wouldn't have gone for fire ships is because the Saracen ones actually attack a little bit quicker, so there is a bit more of an incentive to go for them.
Okay, I think this is going to annoy Alpha Dog here. The fact that his ships are spawning this side of the dock, not the other side. Although it might work in his favour because he won't lose the ship.
Now, here's a really dumb question. The Saracens get a bonus where their archers do more damage to buildings. I don't think that applies to galleys, but I do think galleys do a bit more damage to the houses because of their higher attack. Tower having to come down for Alpha to keep these out, so that's already a big win for K1. And I can't help but feel, Stuart, that these 2 wood lines and Alpha's base should have been at the back of his base rather than the front.
I was going to mention it earlier. If you look over at K1's and Ames's, they've both gone for the back there, as where Dave and the dog didn't. They chose to go forwards.
I'm just looking in Eames's base right now. Fire ships coming out for Eamesy. That is going to be enough to force away these 2 galleys, even with fletching. So that's well played by Eamesy. Again, Dave going for galleys is surprising, not adding in a couple of fire ships. That tower is going to be able to push away those ships from K1. He probably needs to send them south now, put a bit of pressure on the other side. Just looking at the 2 docks from Alpha, he's got a couple in there as well.
Yeah, he's got 3 sat in there ready to spawn out, although this one, remember, spawns the wrong side. Looks like Amesy's got control of his bit down here. K1 looks to be pushing up his side here. Are we smelling a bit of trouble for Dave and the dog early on?
Yeah, I think so. I think Dave's gone back with his army. Maybe he's going to go up to Alpha's base, but maybe the correct thing to do would just be completely ignore him and just go straight to K1's base through that gap. And now K1's actually in. I've never ever seen this before. Galleys surrounding the tower. Alpha's going to bring his out now. He's probably going to have a bit of an advantage here because K1 can't micro with the tower being there.
Or can he?
Or can he? That's the question.
Sends one back, job done. He can. Look, he's taken care of it. Takes the tower down and then moves the remaining off. Although HP wise, it's very even indeed. Amesy's pushed forward onto Dave's base now. Then this is interesting.
Yeah, this is a
Although tower there on the wood line is probably going to block him, so I think he's just going to go for the dock. Probably quite a right move there. Looks like
Yeah,
Alpha
definitely.
Dog's let his buddy through, which is clearly a good idea.
Yeah, Dave's got the galleys coming up now, but look, K1's just spotted all these villagers. He could get 3 or 4 kills right now if he does this properly. But without ballistics, it can be quite difficult against villagers. 1 down. Is he going to get the second?
Look at the micro
2
from
down.
Alpha Dog. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Love that. That was great. What a great bit of play there to try and save his vills.
And actually, this is some great idle time for K1 right now. He's doing a great job. And just looking at the villagers, 36 for K1, 35 for Eamesy, 32 for Alpha, 36 for Dave. So a little bit far in front for K1, but nothing that's impossible to come back from for sure.
Yeah, Amesy's doing quite a bit of damage down here to Dave now then, looking like he's going to take his first
Wow.
dock out.
Yeah.
Dave hasn't opted to try and get a second dock out, maybe over the far side there.
Yeah, this is really nice damage from Eamesy, and he's going to move on to that second dock right now. Dave's he's going to have to go home. And look, that second group of galleys from K1 going in the south wood line, taking the villagers. And Stuart, we said it earlier, I got to say it would have been a lot better for Alpha to put those wood lines on the other side of his base.
Yeah. Going to be a big conversation in the after games interview, isn't it? That's for sure.
Definitely.
Going to be a couple of high and low moments to talk about, most definitely.
And look at this, Stuart. Eamesy first up to Castle Age. Would you have guessed that?
Ah, low elo legend, not no more.
True. And actually, the gold in the south of Dave's base has been denied. Dock going down on the front. This is a really, really nice play from Eamesy.
Yeah, okay. Old man with a baby in the chat. This map is nutty. If I loaded into this map, I would just have to resign.
Yeah.
I think probably a lot of people are feeling the same about that. It is an interesting map. It's the first time I've seen it as well. So I'm struggling to see what Dave and the dog do here to defend this.
Well, they need 2 players just to stop K1, and Eamsy's just getting away with so much right now. I don't know if you've noticed, Stuart, but the galleys that Dave are making, they're not staying in his dock. They're just coming straight out, and Eamsy's picking them off one by one. He's wasted so much res.
He has gone for the second dock, though, now over this side. That's good to see.
Yeah.
He started to produce in those, but I mean, Eamsy's just going to get round, isn't he? That's the thing. And see it. Eamsy up to castle now. No one else has even clicked up, Sulla.
No, I'm just looking at the res right now. Remember, K1's got the Saracen market bonus, so he can do some naughty stuff with the market, potentially get up a bit earlier. Just looking at Dave's eco right now, not really looking fantastic. 900 gold in the bank. He needs to put a market down and get to castle straight away. When Eamesy starts getting those fast fire ships in, it's going to be really difficult for Dave to do anything. His front gold's been denied, and Eamsy's going to go to the back one. Stuart, right now, has Dave got anything to stop him?
No, nothing at all. He's got the forward tower, which does a bit of damage to ships, right? But just the one on its own clearly isn't going to be enough. Eamesy spots the second dock now and lines it up to take it down while still keeping the pressure on at the front here. Second TC going down for Eamesy then.
Yeah.
Very nice to see early on.
Right on the gold. Lovely.
That's it. And Dravidians coming into their own, Sulla.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only is he first to castle, he's getting the extra TC down. The extra wood is so clutch on a map like this. And he's actually got galleys and fireships out. And there's just no way the other team can take this fight right now. And it's just looking absolutely horrible for them. And actually, War Galley coming in for Eamesy right now. So what have we got here? 9, and they're just getting so many Vil picks right now. The tower's going to prevent them, but it's just not enough for 9 of those ships. Just looking at the Vil count right now, Eamesy is a little bit behind, but he's going to be catching up with that second TC. And the amount of idle time is just absolutely insane right now.
Yeah, here we go. The upgrade of the War Galleys in, Sulla. The fire ships are taking out these galleys, no problem whatsoever. K1 bringing a couple of vills down.
Wow.
What are we seeing here? I mean, it's not going to be a castle drop, is it? Have they just gone for a walk?
I think maybe they're going for some stone in the gold.
Oh, here we go. Siege Workshop. Forward Siege Workshop. Here we go then. We're going to see some big pushing happening now. Amesy's really taking control of Dave, so I hate to say.
Yeah.
You know, he feels pretty trapped.
Yeah, Alpha's actually started to do some demo rafts, which is probably the right thing to do against these fire ships. It's going to get a very nice one here. Yeah, but it's just not enough. And I think Eamsy's just going to pile up on this tower right now and shoot it to pieces. And I think if he gets into that golden stone, there's just no way Dave can come back. That's his only source of gold right now. What do you think K1's going to go for here, Stuart? A couple of rams, a couple of mangonels?
Oh, we're going to see. I think it's rams that... I did cheat. I did have a little look before I said it there, but I think it was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think rams combined with these galleons.
Oh, it's been called. It's been called, Sulla. There we go. 27 minutes on their own map.
Wow.
And we've had a team whatever win. There we go. Guys, there we have it. There is no second game to be played, as Team Whatever has won the grand final of the 2v2 Pangea Tourney. What a set. Absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to get the guys in the chat. Now, before we do that, we are going to take a quick 30-second break. All right, so do stick around, all right, because next up, we are hopefully, fingers crossed, going to get all 4 of the players in the chat. And team by team, we can break it down and find out what was going through their minds at each point, and you know, ask any questions that we've got. So if you've got any questions and you're in the chat and you really want an answer, let's do it. Get your questions in the chat. We'll try and get through them all. Keep them clean, please. And yeah, so we'll take 30 seconds. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course, man.
Good stuff. All right, guys, be right back.
Stuart, I've got them to come over.
Okay, good stuff, guys. So we are now going to do the team's interview then. So I think we've got in here with us. Let's have a little look. I think we've got both teams joining us. So let's first start off. Let's congratulate the winners then. Team whatever, K1 and Amesy, £150. Congratulations, and you won game 3. Haha. You know, absolutely fantastic show. Congratulations, Pangea 2v2 Tourney finalists. How does it feel?
Thanks very much.
Yeah. How does it feel, guys?
We feel like champions. No. Yeah, it feels good actually. Yeah, we're happy.
I mean,
Yeah, it's like I can finally breathe because I mean I've just the past month or something. It's just been like match after match. I've just been really scared, and you know, it's difficult.
well, look, hats off to you, Amesy. You know, being the lowest elo player, you know, not out of the tournament, of course, but out of you know, your team, and obviously probably, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe actually every team you've played up against, right? Let's just quickly have a little look at that. So I've got it up on screen now. We can all see the brackets here. Let's have a little just quick look. 2Boys1Cup, obviously, you know, they're higher elo than you. Less than 3, I'm pretty sure they're higher than you, right, Amesy? Gods of War higher, Albanian Fishermen both higher. You know, hats off, mate. You know.
Well, thanks very much, but like, I mean, we all know that the teams are actually very balanced because you know K1's a very good player, and you know I haven't given him enough credit in the interviews in most of our matches, and that's mostly because I don't have the time to be able to look at his base and see what's going on. It's just like I have 100 things to do, and K1's shouting down the mic telling me everything. So
Spam Huskari, spam Huskari, spam Huskari.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm tearing up right now.
Say again. Yeah.
He said he's tearing up.
He's tearing up. Yeah, that's it. I wonder what you meant. Yeah. Well, look, absolutely
See,
great.
Dave, we have friendship, Dave.
I mean, you know, you can clearly see the two. You know, the communication between you know, AMZ K1. We can clearly see the communication between you two. You know, even if it's just through the pings on the map, we can kind of work out what you're both talking about or what you're both doing. You know, that second map that we played. You know, both walling up at exactly the same time, Sulla, wasn't it? I think it was. You know, just clearly great coordination between the two, and you know, perhaps that's what pulled you through.
Yeah, just to get the questions about the game started. The first game, Alpha and Dave, did you deliberately pick that because you'd seen those guys play it before and they lost, or was it just something that you practiced?
The crater map.
The crater one, yeah.
Oh no, don't know.
Oh no! What's the story?
I invented a build order for it for Lithuanian's fast castle, and I fucked up everything. Literally, I should have been up like with 23 bills. If you casted the game, I did it on Hamburger against. Oh no, you didn't cast that game, but I did it on Hamburger against Abu and random catch up. And it works really good, but this time I completely fucked up.
But you guys were ahead for like a really considerable part of the game. I mean, K1 seemed to stay on water, but he was on the back foot a lot of the time. He didn't have much of a navy. Did you guys feel like you were in pole position for at least some of the game?
Yeah, of course, but it was completely on me. I tagged into Paladin. If that resources were on the water, we would have won.
Yeah, I mean, when we were casting it, we must admit, it was like kind of a strange choice. I mean, I guess if there was some siege there, it could have been nice. I think the other thing as well is like K1, that was a great play to get those villagers into the middle. And we said right at the start of the game, K1 is so far away from that island, which is such a big disadvantage for him. But you got there anyway, and you got those 2 castles up. Alpha, you got to imp straight away. Was your priority like take them down as quick as I can, or were you trying to do something else at the same time?
Yeah, I pretty much just wanted to stay on water and take those take those castles down, I instantly researched chemistry and I got everything rolling for the cannon galleons, and K1 just repaired it for like 10 minutes game time, it felt like. And I felt like I looked over.
Asking for a stone.
Huh?
I was asking like for a stone from IMZ constantly, so I can keep on
Yeah,
repairing it.
I was just like, because I didn't understand. I was just like, man, dude, these things, like, are they doing any damage? Like, yeah, I thought, and I was like, okay, I'll add a third or something. These things are expensive. And then the fear started setting in, and I looked back and I seen there was no gold, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then we started queuing up trade carts, and then that was just an uphill battle because you guys had, I don't know, like 10k gold on that island. It was just rough.
Yeah, I think that getting the villagers to the middle was definitely the play that won you that game. Going into the second game.
Just quickly, Sulla, I've got.
Sorry, you go straight. Yeah, go.
There's one point that we missed. The Genesee crossbowman that made a full lap round the map. K1. I don't know if you was aware, but you sent 2 Genesee crossbowmen and a Treb all round the other side of the map. 2 Genesee crossbowmen made it through, but the Treb unfortunately didn't.
Where was the hole? Because I made I made the transport ship, and I was like, okay, I'm going to land in their base now, and I saw I already have 2 Genoese crossbows there.
Yeah,
I didn't know how they walked.
They walked all the way around through Ames's base, and then through Alpha Dog's base, and then up into the Conserve and Dave. Yeah, we was backing them the whole way around. Yeah,
Amesy, you were supposed to be bald, man. What the fuck?
Alpha in
I was
the game.
too. I don't know.
Alpha and Eamsy hadn't walls. There was like a 1 tile gap for both of them. So
it was a test. Yeah,
it was quite funny, I must admit, because he managed to go through about 4 castles without getting shot somehow.
Yeah.
Alpha said like, "Hey, do you have Genoese crossbowmen in your base?" And I like, "Where?" And I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Because it were only 2.
That's it. It was just 2. You thought it'd be a whole army, but no. But yeah, go on, Sulla, on to Arena then. I think everyone's dying to get the thoughts that went through, especially your mind, K1.
I think as much as I would like to hear about Arena, I think Runestones was next. Although Arena was definitely the most interesting one. But yeah, so Runestones was super interesting because I was saying when the stream started, like, he's not actually going to go for 2 TC, and you did, and it actually worked out pretty well. The defense went well, and the towers are really good. And you were really, really far in villages, and I think you did a raid in Dave's base, like kind of early mid castle, and got you quite a few vills. Were you thinking at that point, like, this feels like I'm really far ahead and I've got a big advantage?
Okay, I'm gonna try to start from the beginning. So
Sure.
there's actually a difference between practicing a build order and then like trying to get to Castle Age when you're playing against AI and not attacking anything, than like actually playing a game, because you won't have idle time with your villagers. So I was supposed to get to Castle Age like 4 minutes earlier than that.
Yeah.
But I think the second last to Castle Age, and I think that was where it went to shit, because I was supposed to get to Castle Age, and based on what I was thinking, I would have like some knights to at least either like try to kill all of the archers or try to like kill half of them, something like that, so they wouldn't be able to have a forward position. When they got to Castle Age faster than me, I knew it's gonna be super hard, because although I was ahead in like in military, but since they did some damage to IMZ, I knew that that's gonna be 2v1 for quite a while, and Castle Age 2v1 is really hard to hold. I tried to raid, I think it was Dave, right? Yeah. I tried to raid him a lot, but they just had a massive army in front of my base, and I couldn't like afford sending all of my army forward all the time, because although I had a castle in my base, but the rest of my base was pretty exposed, and I thought they would probably try to get around and stuff like that. But yeah.
I think
after they got to Castle Age, I mean, at least I was pretty sure that we were going to lose that game, but we did keep on trying.
K1, if you raided me instead of Dave, you might have won that game. I was 1 TC that whole time. I didn't have any defenses. I thought back at it, I'm like, man, I'm so happy with that.
Yeah,
I was sure you're like at least on 2 TCs, and since there's like botkin or TCs, I didn't want to raid you, like thinking you have 2 TCs at least. But yeah, that was a mistake. I should have raided you for sure.
I think a lot of people in the stream were saying, Alpha is kind of getting away with it here because he had 1 TC and like 75 villages. But I think you were in a tough positional game, so I get it. And I was trying to think in the stream, was there any unit composition that humans could go for in that situation that was better than what you did? I mean, Paladin is like the natural thing they go for, right? But it was just never going to work against camels and arbs.
I mean,
it felt like
if I do have a lot of resources, I could go like Paladin, Halberdier, and keep check. I guess that could probably kill everything. But can I? Like even I could throw in some siege archers too, but I didn't have the resources.
Yeah. I mean, Stuart, do you mind if I go for the third game? Unless you got anything
do it. I mean, look. I mean, obviously, yeah. We just covered the early GG bit, right? In that game. Yeah, let's go on to Arena because everyone's dying to know, K1, what your thoughts were, what was going through your mind. I mean, oof.
Okay.
Go on, Silla. I'll let you ask.
Sorry. Yeah, go on.
So, I think Dave comes forward with the castle, so we weren't actually expecting him to go all the way to you because Eamesy had an absolutely horrible base in that game. Like all his stone and all of his gold was right next to each other, and if a castle went down there, but anyway, he went for you. And were you expecting the full commitment to the petard, or do you think it was kind of just one castle and then that was it?
I mean, like when I saw the super fast uptiming from Aimsy, which I don't know how did he. I think he went 22 villagers or something.
He went 22. Yeah, Dave went 22.
Oh my god, that was insane. Yeah, when I saw that, I was thinking, okay, maybe he's trying to do a forward castle. I didn't think he would do it on me. I thought that the Berbers is like the Berbers player is supposed to pressure me, and the Franks will pressure the other player with the castles. I saw the castle in front of my base, and I was like, okay, I've already one castle up. I'm gonna try to stone wall, and then I will get a second castle. And when I got the walls down, I told him, okay, I'm fine. Just make a castle on your base, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna win. And then I saw the army of Petars. I never thought I would lose a game to Petars. Like I just died to Petars. That was really, yeah. And he kept on making them and taking down everything. Yeah, I did not expect that at all. And almost died. I couldn't even run away with my villages for most of the game. But yeah.
Dave, were you always kind of fully committed to that strategy, or was it something that you decided at the start of the game, or like before you go into the game, were you just like, we 100% have to kill K1? Because you were very committed to it. I got to give you that.
Yeah, the idea was that we go for K1 really heavy. I go Frank's 23 pop up, by the way, and then forward castle drop. To get to secure the second castle spot, and the Berber player will go for their camel archers and kill the Mangodai if they try to snipe the petards. And we didn't want K1 to get into a big Mangodai mass. So yeah, it was kind of a full commitment to kill K1. And I thought the idea after this was I have castles up, so I go throwing X-Men to counter the God player. Because we let him boom, and anytime soon he will arrive with Huskarls.
Yeah. No, we were saying at the start of the game, if the Frank, like you guys were kind of perfectly placed, weren't you? You had the Berber player next to the Mongol player, the Frank player next to the Goth player. If you could get to your compositions, you could do it. But Eamesy, credit where credit's due. You had pretty much a free game to boom and everything. And did you feel like you had exactly what you need to just kind of spam all game?
Oh yeah, definitely. The issue was like not spamming quick enough. Like I should have made some more barracks like further up, like a lot sooner, and stuff like that. But I know because I've played Franks quite a few times. Well, I mean, it's one of my really liked civs. So I know that the throwing X-Men, they can't really counter Huskarls because the production at the castle just isn't good enough.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and you certainly had a big eco advantage. So, Alpha, it kind of felt like you were kind of almost at a point where you had a really good economy as well, but you were up against the Goth flood before K1 could get back into your game. What were you thinking in terms of like unit composition? Because obviously Goth's super hard to deal with in the late game.
Yeah, I was thinking if I just tech into Hussar, that I can just, fend it off for a little while and just maintain a constant flood of Hussars. And then I could just hold on. Looking back at it, if I would have went hand cannoneers, it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah, another thing as well I forget with Berbers is they get fully upgraded champions, which is weird. You wouldn't think they would get it. Sorry, K1, what are you going to say?
No, I was just saying maybe champions would be better because if he goes hand cannoneer, then since I've already taken to Arbalest, wouldn't I don't know. I'm just guessing. Maybe champions would be better.
I mean, it was definitely like in the moment, like I was just like, all right, I got to get these Hussars out, and then I put down like 6 stables, and then Eamesy destroys all 6 of them within the next 3 minutes. I was just like, I can't even place buildings right now. And then you took down probably 3 castles just with Huskarls. Like I just couldn't keep up with building stuff, and yeah.
It's pretty epic.
Eamesy sends me actually he sent me I think it was 9,000 resources that game. He was slinging me pretty hard in him. That's why I got army.
Guys, quick one. Question in the chat from a new viewer. I need some trees hitbox becomes so much smaller for me. What mods should I use? I want to know. Sorry to butt in your interview there, but Marathon, this is the advantage of the Hermetica clan. We've got loads of legend Elo players. So, guys, in the chat, anyone can help out Marathon?
There is actually a mod you can find. It's probably one of the most subscribed ones called Small Trees Mod. Just get that one. It makes the game way easier to play.
There you go. You heard it here at the Hermetica clan. Go into the mods, go into search or browse, and just type in Small Tree Mod. There you go. Look forward to seeing you in the Discord Marathon. Cool. Okay, Sulla, where are we up to?
Yeah, just going to the last game, which was weird for me to cast.
Yeah, very strange map.
I don't think I've played a map like that for years. But so Dave and Alfie, you picked that one. Presumably,
it was their pick.
Oh, it was your pick. My apologies.
Yeah.
So you guys seem like you definitely. I was about to say it was insane because you guys seem like you had a strategy for a map you didn't even pick. What was the logic behind the Saracen pick? Obviously, the Dravidians are a great Civ choice for that map with the extra wood. But what was the logic behind the Saracens?
Saracens is K1, right?
Yeah. And he's gone. Okay, we'll return.
No, sorry. I was talking. I was muted. Yeah. So the only reason was 25% faster attacking galleys because I knew it's gonna be a galley war. They're like really strong on this map. And and the market definitely helps in a hectic map like this. So yeah, those were the 2 reasons I picked them.
It's interesting what you said about galleys because Eamesy, you added fire ships earlier than any other player. And you had a really big kind of advantage, I would say, getting them out early. K1, what's the logic behind getting galleys out quicker than fire ships on that map?
So the thing is, like, when you're going for galleys instead of fires, there's like I think the first 1 or 2 minutes of fiddle, you are in the back foot because fires are just stronger than galleys 1-on-1. But when you get like 6 or 8 galleys with fletching, then the fires are kind of I wouldn't say they're useless, but it's really hard to kill the galleys. And I think the main reason why the fires work on the other side was because the other player had to come and help Dave. So if he would have like all of his galleys on this side, I think he would be able to push Eamesy back.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Alpha, I'm sorry to pick you up on this, but me and Stuart noticed something kind of early on. What was the logic behind putting the wood lines on the front rather than the back?
For the exact reason of why I tried to wall like I did. I tried my best to keep K1 out and put towers behind it. That way I couldn't possibly get hit. And I just wanted to have those villagers ready to drop a tower and be ready. And I got to give credit to K1. K1 microed that like a beast. No, that was... No, K1, when you were on my side, you microing the galleys, trying to get my villagers and
you were yellow. House. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were yellow. I thought you were green. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, I felt like every time I got it, because I wanted to at least not have my villagers idle inside of my tower. Every time I left my tower to try to go chop wood, you instantly popped out and like try to kill it or kill my repairing villagers. It was one of the most aggravating things of the whole series. But yeah, K1 just microed that really well, and just once he broke in, I just pretty much crumbled from there.
Yeah, it's I know, K1, you say you're not an archer player, but that was some very nice micro with the galleys. I got to agree with Alpha here.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stuart, anything to add on that map?
Well, no, I think just testament to the low elo legend Amesy. I think again, he pushed his side very well. He kept up with the pace, right? He was matching K1. He was matching your pace coming round. He got in there. He broke in very well. I think, yeah, he kept the pressure on, and that's also a big part of what won that map, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be interested to hear the players' take on this, because we released a poll when we were playing and asked everyone in the Twitch channel if the teams were balanced well in the tournament. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it was balanced well, or do it a bit differently next time?
The final is the best example for it, that it's balanced, I think. We have two same ranked players facing the best player and from the rank the lowest. It is really well balanced, I think.
K1 Eamesy, what do you think?
I 100% agree. It was a very fair tournament. I mean, that's the reason why, Microsoft, when they're making the game, they put in the elo system. So, it is very fair as long as everyone is actively playing, 1v1 ranked, then it makes sense that it should work perfectly, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I completely agree with what Dave said. We've had two completely different teams in the final, and you guys have had some really close games. So I think that's pretty testament to. I think we've managed to get it right.
Yep.
Yeah, congrats, guys. Well played, Stuart. That's all I've got, unfortunately.
Thank you very much, dude. And look, just if I can finish up on that, K1 Amesy, obviously well done again. Well deserved, definitely. But Dave and Dog, honestly, I really hats off, massive hats off to you two. To go out round one winners bracket and then win every single game in the losers bracket to come all the way back and face the guys that took you out in the first round. It was interesting, and we knew that you guys obviously would have practiced a lot more together and playing those games, and I think it was evident in these last matches. I think maybe a couple of moments it was a bit unlucky and some maybe wrong moves, but yeah, really well played, massively well played. Right, guys, I think what we're going to do quickly is Hypnos wants to jump in quickly. So Hypnos is the OG of the Hermetica clan. I think you just wanted to say a couple of words, didn't you, buddy? And then after that, what we're going to do, guys, everyone in the chat, please do stick around. What we're going to do, we'll obviously go out to some music, as always, and then raid someone. So if you can stick around for the raid, that would be great. And then obviously when we do raid, if you can follow them and make some noise in the chat, screaming about Hermetica and how good the final was, that would be absolutely fantastic. But look, enough from me. Over to you, Hypnos.
Oh, hi guys, it's Hypnos here.
Yeah.
Well, just congratulations for being in the final. Both UMZ, K1, Conservant Dave, and Alpha Dog. You did a really great, and yeah, it was really a pleasure organizing the tournament with all of you. You just showed a really great fair play. I think everybody during the tournament did that. So yeah, I just wanted to also congratulate with Stuart and Sula. They just their effort was beyond being legendary. You just showed great effort and commitment. I never really met anybody like you, and so I just wanted to say thank you, because I think you casted this match for 4 hours. 4 hours, guys. I mean, it's just amazing. And I would like to say thanks to all the other people who casted before you. Loki in particular, he was very active at the beginning of the tournament, especially with the organization of the tournament. So thanks, Loki, if you are listening to it. And Smiley, I think MZ, you did a cast as well a few weeks ago. McAfee, Agrippa, Harry Boy Sam, Kai also put the money for the tournament together with Dope Fish. I think it was Dope Fish, yes. And Reverend Miracle and Jade Arrow Gamer also supported the channel. And I'm sorry if I'm forgetting someone. And but yeah, I mean, it was really a pleasure to watch all these matches, and really thanks from my heart.
Perfect. Thanks, Hypnos. Thanks,
yeah,
man.
thank you, guys.
Means a lot, and look, we all enjoy it. And look, what makes Hermetica Clan so great, right? So, look, links in the chat if you want to jump in. Discord, the Discord link is in the chat. Feel free to do so. Murathan, we're glad we have helped you, buddy, with the small trees mod. We're glad it felt good. Good stuff. Well, look, I think that's it from everyone here at Hermetica Clan. Thanks ever so much again. Congratulations to K1 and AMZ, the winners of the 2v2 Pangea tournament, picking up a massive 150. And of course the 50 quid going to Dave and the dog. Out we go on a good little track then. We're going to put on the one that we all like, that we all love, the good party one, why not? And yeah, we're going to raid out, so stick around for the raid, be much appreciated. Thanks ever so much. Cheers, guys.